What's going on, friends? On this episode of the podcast, we have the musically talented Rob Schroeder. So I hope you all enjoy this episode. All right. We're good.
There it is.
What's up?
Another day, paradise.
So this is the first podcast that you've done.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little different.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
It's a little unusual because you're like talking into a microphone and you got headphones on. You don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, you can't.
I got a beer if you want a beer, but
I got a drink for now.
Yeah, I don't know. YouTube is a little weird. They probably would fuck me up if I, show beer. I'd have to probably put like, the whole kid thing. You had a age restriction and shit.
We'll cover it up.
It's really stupid. They do that with hemp. I watch reviews on hemp, and that's what they do. You gotta like click that you understand that you're going into like a special content.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people review hemp and shit.
Yeah, you don't need all that.
So I see you on Facebook all the time talking shit. Talking shit.
I get in there.
And your friends, are they your friends?
Yeah, well, I know them. I went to school with them.
So they're not all your friends, but you went to school.
We don't hang out much.
Because there's that one guy, he was like real upset. He's like, look, you don't know. Because you're a Trump supporter.
Oh, yeah. For sure. I can't say it. I could deny it, but yeah, that's just, I'm a Trump supporter.
You like
I'm
Trump.
more a Trump supporter than I am Republican even.
Yeah. I mean, he's done some good stuff, but I think look, you can't deny the guy's fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look at him. For number one, he wears a fucking wig. He should just take that motherfucker off and just be bald.
Oh, right.
But he is hilarious. That motherfucker on Twitter, the shit he says. I mean, I don't have a Twitter account. Well, I have one, but I don't do anything. I just go on there to look at everybody else's shit. But he says some really stupid shit. But he does.
That's the only thing I don't like about him is just that sometimes it's like, bro, my mom raised me differently. You know what I mean? You can't say some of the things he says, and people like he's racist because he gets a little bit out there with some of the things he does say.
Well, I don't know. Like it's hard, when you talk to most people, and I'm not bashing on Democrats because I don't really sit on either side, so I'm just like right in the middle. I just like whatever's smarter. For me, that's like whatever's gonna like affect me the best. That's where I'm going. If that's Democrat, then that's where I'm going. If it's Republican, that's where I'm going. But man, you talk to these Democrats, and you like the hardest thing is you ask them a question. You say, "Look, what has he done that's so racist?" And they go, and they beat around the bush. They beat around the question. They don't really answer the question like directly. They're just like, well, look at him.
Right. Well, and the thing that I see the most is that they say. He's bringing racist people like out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're now there's more of them because he's president. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. I think what it is so the African Americans are the majority are Democratic, so they vote Democrats. They vote the on the left, which is interesting because the Democrats were the ones that actually enslaved African Americans. If you go back in history, and the Republicans were the one that actually freed African Americans,
right?
If you go back in the history books, so they follow the Democrats. That's what they vote. So the Democrats are fucking crazy. Like right now they are.
Oh yeah, they're nuts.
Not always.
I mean, not
always.
I agree.
But right now they're like Looney Tune.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're out
like
there.
Not all of them, because I like Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, I heard you said.
Yeah,
the name on the last one.
She's actually pretty good. Like if you listen to what she says, she actually has a lot more. She actually has some Republican views, and the Democrats don't even really like her. So I don't think she'll get the nominee anyway. But yeah, like they're like way super far, and I don't know like a lot. I mean, I'm not like super political, so I don't know a ton of shit. But I don't know why that vote goes to the Democrats when it comes to African Americans, and I think it's just because I don't know.
I don't even think that's like necessarily completely true either, because there's a huge African American following behind Trump. They're just not shown on the media. You know what I mean? You just don't see that movement.
Yeah.
And
well, they're not up there. I
shared something the other day, like some pastor, he's a Republican. He was talking about how why he says Trump isn't that racist or why he's doing good for African people is because he has to prove himself. Like Obama, he's like automatically, he's black. You know what I mean? So they're like, oh, he already has our support.
Well, the hard thing is he's actually Muslim, and it's I don't know, that the whole Obama thing is just I don't know.
Well, I did all. That's where I started in politics. It was when he was running and like researching him and stuff, and how he tried to run against Jesse Jackson in Chicago, and he got destroyed. And basically, the people were like, "Dude, you're not black. You don't know. You're not from here. You don't know what it's like to be black in America." So he lost, and then it's kind of funny. I mean, I say it's maybe a coincidence, but Michelle's father is like super good friends with Jesse Jackson. That pretty much tied him to the black community when he was with Michelle. So it was like,
it's I don't know. I voted for Obama in his first term because he was smooth. He was really
he's a good talker.
dude. He's real smooth, and I thought, man, he sounds real good. And then he became president, and then it was just dead. There was just nothing. There was no movement. Like there was literally nothing.
Yeah. Not for us, at least.
Well, yeah, I mean, so the biggest thing when is the middle class. So I said it in the last one, like I'm not, so I don't actually believe like in a president. I don't think that we should have just one person.
Right.
Like I think we should have more than one president to run that's just, I've always said it. I just think you're taking one person, you're like, here you can, and they don't even really have that much power.
No, they don't even run the country.
No, they're just kind of like I don't know, I guess they just kind of hold the key maybe.
Right,
but like I voted for him. Obama wasn't. Oh man, he wasn't that good. And what's crazy is Trump gets on TV and Trump says, I don't know, whatever he says. I grabbed her by the pussy, whatever. Right. You know what I mean? Which, look, if somebody didn't like Trump because of that, that's some bullshit.
Right.
Because I don't give a fuck who you are. Man, maybe some people, but I would say like 85% of people in the fucking world or in this country, when you're alone with your friends, maybe having a drink, I don't care if you're a guy or a girl, there's no way that you never said anything that was just fucked up.
Right, don't come around our family then.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean? Our shit's fucking, we're really like, it's like beyond, but there's no way. And then they get mad and they go, well, that's bullshit, like the whole border, which I'm not all about the immigration thing. I think that's just a real little fish. I don't think it's even big at all. Yeah. I think to spend so much time, like I don't like the wall. I think that's a dumb idea. It's a waste of money.
I think if it stops them from still putting in so much money every time, then sure. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, if it's gonna be like, oh, put in this much and then we don't
like
have
LED lights. You know what I mean? Save money in 10 years.
Right? Yeah. I mean, because they're gonna last forever. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I just think that for a family who maybe had a gang member who came over and killed their family, like I said in the last one, it makes sense. But for me, I'm not affected by any of it. And the whole immigration thing, I think if somebody's been here for 20 years and they've paid their taxes, even though they're illegal, might as well just make them a fucking citizen. I mean, they've fucking been here that long and they're paying their shit. I don't give a fuck if they're illegal. I just pay your shit.
Yeah.
Like pay taxes.
Follow the laws.
Yeah, like follow the laws. Pay tax. Like if you go to work every day, because listen. So my fiance she's Hispanic. Her whole side of the family is Hispanic. I fucking love them. Like the best people in the fucking world.
Right.
And they agree with me. Like they're on my side. Like when it comes to immigration. Like look, dude, if you're coming here illegally and you're just not paying shit and you're not working, like get the fuck out.
Right.
Like they'll say it. Like look, you should go back. But if they come here, because listen, most of them are doing jobs that I'm not gonna do. Like I'm not gonna go roof a house in the middle of summer at 130 degrees or whatever the fuck it is, wearing sweatshirts and work 15 hours and make $8 an hour. I'm not fucking doing that.
Right. Well, in a lot of those cases, I feel like they're getting taken advantage of. You know what I mean? Like because we won't do it. You know what I mean? Because we would need a certain pay. Yeah. And they just want the money. Yeah. Because they need it.
Yeah. We're like, no, we ain't doing it for less than this. But Obama was the one who actually, in both of his terms, said that we need better immigration control. But when Trump said it, it was Obama was the one that actually started making the border stronger by building. Well, I call them camps, but they're not really camps. But building all that stuff and and going through the process.
It's hilarious to me because I forget the date, but it's like 1895 is when. That it became when detention centers were like the first one was made for people that were coming in. Yeah. And then they didn't really use them, but actually when Bill Clinton in 96 or something, he actually made it a law that said if you came here illegally, you had to go there, and he separated families. And he was a Democrat.
Yeah, he's a Democrat. It's hypocrisy. Like they say, if you don't agree with them, you're a piece of shit, and you don't know, you're just a loser who is racist. Like if you don't agree with in today's society, not
even the people that are my friends on Facebook.
Yeah, maybe not like, I don't know, maybe not 10 years ago, but in 2019, if you don't agree with one, then you're a racist.
Immediately.
That's probably the first thing that you are, is a racist, and you don't know, like you don't.
Yeah, you're
know.
not smart.
It's funny, so I'm not gonna bash him because he's kind of family, but there's an individual who is a Democrat and said some shit to me one time, and it's like, you get all your, so I don't watch Fox News or CNN because Fox is very right, CNN's very left,
right, and then a bunch of other,
yeah, so I get most of my news from YouTube, or
or
like,
from straight from people's mouths.
yeah,
that's
like,
my favorite.
Yeah, like I don't watch the news because it's all just bullshit. Like, something happens and then 20 minutes later the news like knows everything about it, and it's like, dude, come on, you don't know everything
see Trump
about
and his heart attack.
No,
he went
to
go. He went to go to the doctor to get like a partial part of his physical done that he has to do in January 1st. And he's gonna be real busy then, so he got like some of the stuff out of the way. Well, while he was there, he was like visiting with some I think it was a veteran that was in the hospital. He was visiting, and then the news actually reported that he had a heart attack and he's in the hospital. And then he got out and went back to the White House, and they said, "Oh, he spends the night. He's overnight in the hospital." He's like, "You were following me. You were literally in your van behind me, and you reported that I spent the night there."
That's the CNN, and then it's like all the impeachment stuff too. That's another. So like, okay, listen. I mean, it started before Obama. Towards the end of the Bush administration, you have obviously Snowden. You know what I mean? And so he was like, the whole thing, the whole spying on people. I think it was towards the end of Bush. It might have been in the very beginning of Obama, but he's the one who built the programs and shit. Obama was the one who pulled the trigger.
Oh yeah,
and spied on the people.
Yep.
And this is what's so crazy. He spied on the people. No impeachment. There was nothing. There was literally nothing.
It blows my mind.
It was like it never happened. What never happened. I mean, we're still getting spied on 100%.
It's not a big deal.
But I'm saying, like, yeah, it wasn't a big deal.
It's for your safety.
But if Trump,
if
he like
even
anything,
imagine.
like, look, the call with the Ukraine president, I think it was a little fucked up when he's like, "Hey, can you look into the whole Joe Biden thing?" I mean, that's
but I don't think he said it. I think the transcripts are false. Like, I listened to the audio recording, I didn't hear nothing, and the Ukrainian president said that he was never pressured.
No, I know.
Like, how can
I
he
watched.
say that?
What's his name? Is it Jim Jordan? I think he's a Republican congressman. I'm not 100% sure, but he was on like a CNN interview thing, and they were like grilling him, drilling him about it. And he's like, "Look, like there was no wrongdoings. I mean, if he said it, well, you shouldn't have fucking said it. But I mean,
and here's the other thing, like." He said a lot of things, you know what I mean? Even if he, what would be so wrong about him saying it if there was something there? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's a good thing to know. Well, like with the hunter and stuff, his son.
What's weird, and then what happened was Joe Biden, it actually came about that, Joe Biden's son was on the board of the somewhere.
It's an energy company.
Yeah, an energy company making $50,000 a year. Well, what are you doing? He doesn't know anything about.
I think it was like $500,000.
It was something. I mean, it was a lot. It was like something crazy. But this dude, he doesn't know anything about what that business does. But he's on the board. Like, it's a little bit.
I think it's strange.
It's a little bit strange. But look.
Well, and then it was even funnier too. There's a video of Biden talking on the Council on Foreign Relations. He's doing a press conference, and this is like 2018. This is like a year ago. You know what I mean? And he's literally talking about how the last president of Ukraine, they wanted to get rid of their attorney general there, the guy, the prosecutor and stuff. They said he was corrupt. And so Biden was like, "You need to get rid of him." And he was like, "I don't think I'm gonna." And then he's like, "Well, we're not gonna give you the $1 billion in aid." He literally said that. He said that out of his mouth. He said that to the old Ukrainian president. And then what happened? Dude got fired.
Yeah, there's so much hypocrisy in it. But yeah, and then so Trump does something weird. Then we go into impeachment. So what happens is the Democrats for 4 years spend a whole bunch of tax money trying to impeach him, trying to go through
blocking everything,
going through all these proceedings. And like, look, I'm literally by no means a Trump supporter. I didn't vote in the 2016 election because I thought, well, Trump or Hillary, there's not a good option here. I'm not going to do it. So it was 2016. I'm not a supporter of Trump in necessarily. Like, I don't think
like he's your president.
I don't think that I don't know enough about him. Like, I've never met the guy. I don't know enough about him.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's fair.
it's like what you see on CNN or what you see on Fox or maybe what you hear from this guy or that guy. But I mean, I don't know. I can't say like, oh, I don't like the fucking, like, he hasn't done anything that's impacted my life personally.
Everything he's done to mine has been actually to help.
I mean, I'm sure that he maybe has done stuff to other people that has impacted them. And the shit he says is crazy and wild and outlandish and whatever. I mean, he's funny. Like I say, he's funny as hell. Like,
Yeah.
He's probably the most funny president who, when someone talks shit about him, he like doesn't even give a fuck. He just like, he's the only president.
He'll mock him.
Yeah, he's the only president I think that has started his term and then 4 years later looks the same, doesn't look any different because he hasn't aged, because it just doesn't affect him.
And he's actually been doing the things that he said he was going to do, like, you know,
but
he made
it
a
is.
plan and
I mean, there is some shit like when he's doing a speech and they just interrupt him and say what they want to say. It's like no other president has had to deal with that. And when I look at Trump and I think, okay, I'm not an African American, I'm not Hispanic, but I have family that is African American, and I have family, you know, my fiance's family that are Hispanic. So it's not like I'm completely oblivious to that portion. And they're telling me all the time, like, my brother-in-law literally is black or African American, whatever term you want to use. And this motherfucker's like, he ain't done shit to me.
Right.
And it's not like they live a lavish, they live in a trailer park. They're impoverished.
Right. He's
Like,
not affecting them.
See, and we spent 4 years.
Not negatively, because he is positively. Like, the African American people have the lowest unemployment rate they've ever had.
I did hear that they do have a low
and our
unemployment
country's
rate.
economy is actually the best it's ever been.
Yeah, see, like I said, I'm not like, you know, super like I don't follow everything. I follow certain things, like if it's going to affect my business or if,
Like the stock market, it's up 50%.
Like if certain things are going to affect me, and I know that something's happening, I'll follow it pretty close because I want to know, like, okay, how's it going to affect me in the long term or whatever. But there hasn't really been anything that's affected me. But it's real wild. I mean, 4 years, and what's crazy is the Democrats say he's not accountable for anything that he's done. Which, okay, sure, if he says something fucked up, he, in a way, I guess, hasn't been accountable. Like, there really hasn't been really that much repercussion.
Not on the things he said, not on his hurtful words.
You know, and like I said, I don't know, you know, everything. But then it's like the Democrats have taken 4 years of tax. That's tax money. That's not personal money they're using to do all this stuff.
Right.
I don't.
People don't even look at it like that.
Like, that's your money. That's your tax money that they're using to go through all this stuff and not finding anything, not finding any bad, nothing from the first, you know, all the first shit that went down, nothing crazy. That's 4 years of tax money. When you have Nancy Pelosi, who I think is I think she's a
Speaker?
California though,
Oh, yeah.
but I think she like represents a portion of California, something in California, which has like I think the highest homeless rate right now.
Oh yeah,
So
she's out there, man.
yeah, but like, so you have her who has put no money. There's no money being put back into her community that she runs, and she's not worried about anything. And then you have all these other people in all these other impoverished area. Most of the Democrats that are impeaching Trump, they all are representatives in impoverished areas, and they're not even, they're just like, well, we're just gonna take the money and then impeach him. And then I don't.
They're not. I don't understand how the people of those communities would like. Why they go with them. I mean, maybe they don't have a better choice. Maybe they don't know.
Well, maybe they don't. Like Chicago, you got Illinois who's legalized marijuana. They only did it because they're bankrupt. So if they didn't legalize, they already raised their taxes. So if they didn't legalize marijuana, they probably would have needed a bailout. And you have Chicago that's super impoverished, you know, and then you have other people, and I talked about this on the last podcast, that are like, just like, oh, well, those people, you know, they don't get out of the bad areas, but you can't. I mean, if you're a young kid and you're just 5 years old, your dad left when you were 2, you don't have a father figure, your mom works 3 jobs, and you live in a impoverished area, that's the life that you know. Nobody's been there to help you. There's no authority. Your mom's doing the best that she can do.
Right.
You grow up that way. You don't know how.
Well, and you get comfortable too.
I mean, you don't know how to remove yourself from it. And then they're like shutting schools down in the impoverished areas, and that doesn't help because these kids can't get accepted to the schools that are not in impoverished areas. So there's a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
But a lot of these Democrats
you know,
are
who's running them places.
Well,
that's what's messed up.
Most of the states that have really impoverished areas are democratically ran.
Or most murders and hardest gun control are democratically ran.
Yeah, I mean, if you like, I'm super pro gun. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm probably like, people would probably think I'm like pretty far,
I'm definitely
so
pro-gun.
like I don't believe in a lot of stuff. Like so I have a concealed carry license in the state that I live in, and I conceal carry everywhere I go. I do think that if you're going to conceal, I think that, like the class I took was ridiculous. It was an hour long. Nobody in the class knew what the hell they were doing, pointing the guns at their faces,
Right.
trying to look down the barrel.
Right, hunter safety is definitely like a super awesome
like
thing.
I think that you should have to go shoot and, know how to shoot and understand how a firearm works. But these people are crazy. These people are so crazy. Like, well, listen, man, you shouldn't have a gun. Why shouldn't I have a gun?
Yeah.
And then like on, you have like on the last podcast, they're like, well, a Second Amendment's meant for a tyrannical government. It's not meant for hunting. It's not meant for anything else. It's meant that if the government tries to overtake the people, that we have means,
the ability,
to fight that. I get it that they have drones and they have planes, and we can't fight that.
Yeah,
but they're not. But see, and this is what I said before. They're not going to use that. See,
well, not only that, those are our people. The people that are in the military are Americans. They swore their own oaths to protect us and the Constitution.
Well, it's
you know what I mean. Like th're not going to all just come into our homes and start killing us.
well, no, but it's about control.
It's gonna be that private military. You know what I mean? That would be the one. I feel like would be the one they would use to come.
Right, but they would have to come to your home because see, they don't want to kill you. They want to control you. So they don't want to kill you. They want to control you. Well, the fight will start on the ground. I mean, that's just where it's going to start. In order to do that, you got to have firearms.
And with the New World Order, like how it's been going over the last like 25 years, it's like a real possibility that we will have that. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure.
Trump's fighting it, but Obama was like 100% supportive of the New World Order, and so was Bush. Both of them were, and Bush Sr.
Well, there's which is funny because Bush and they were so. I mean, Bush was a Republican, which he did a terrible fucking job. I mean, one of the worst presidents.
He was just a fucking actor they put in.
Yeah, I mean, he was fucking horrible.
He's a puppet.
But people talk about guns. Guns are it's really just stupid. They want to ban assault rifles, which an assault rifle is an automatic firearm. So right, an AR-15 is an Armalite rifle. That's what AR stands for. Is Armalite. It's not doesn't stand for assault rifle. And the military never in the history of the military have they ever used. For anybody listening, an AR-15,
right.
Never.
Right. Stop saying it.
Not in the whole history of the military have they ever used an AR-15.
Why would you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not. It's listen.
Maybe if you're shooting squirrels or rodents.
I don't think people really understand. I can do more damage with a 9mm firearm than I can with an AR-15. I can do more damage. The bullet is actually bigger. I don't think people realize that the bullet on a 9mm,
like the 308 rifle in the 7mm that we can use hunting.
Yeah, I mean,
way more damage.
I mean, I have a tactical shotgun, and I can do more damage with the 6 slugs I put in there, obviously, than or even buckshot, or you know what I mean, or because it's going to spread. But I can just go out and buy a 30-round magazine for my handgun, and I mean, it's going to shoot the same as an AR-15. The AR-15 will go a little bit further, a little bit faster, but it's not. And then I don't know. I can't.
I don't. The only possible reason that they're doing all that is because they want to disarm us as much as possible.
Well, yeah, I mean, I do believe that, like, as much as outlandish or crazy as it may sound, I am, I don't know, I'm super pro Second Amendment. Is probably like my number one thing is
Constitution, like you said in the last one. I'm pro Constitution.
Yeah, so like I'm just basically I'm just like pro freedom. Like I want less government in my life. I want less government, and then. So I don't want to have to worry about the government. I shouldn't have to pay federal tax. We were talking about this off air. Like, I don't want to have to pay federal tax. I think that's ridiculous. Why do I have to pay federal tax? If I pay in 10 grand, I'm only getting 3,000 back. Maybe. Might only get 2 grand back. The rest of that money, guess what? For everybody listening, if I released a video and you're watching it, that's going to impeaching Trump. So I hope you're happy about your taxes. But like, no, I'm just whatever's like less government, more freedom, and ain't fucking with my Constitution. I'm cool with it.
And that's kind of why I get pushed toward the Republican Party, I think, is because Democrats ultimately just want one huge government. They want government to run everything. They literally want to have their hands in every single thing in our daily life.
It's a little more government. We were talking, so when I had Sam on here last week or the week before, he was talking about, he supports Andrew Yang, which I don't know a lot about Andrew Yang. I haven't researched him yet. I was going to do it, but I haven't done it yet. But he kind of believes in the value added tax, and he also believes in like it's like a universal income type tax, you know,
Yeah,
where it's like
see.
the giving the $1,000 out. I think it's called universal income.
Yeah.
So I don't believe in that. I don't believe in just giving someone $1,000. I get it brings more money into the community, but
There's other ways. Like, look what Trump's doing. He's literally basically making it impossible for companies to keep their businesses overseas. Like, it's more profitable for their company to come back home right now because of the tariffs he's putting on these places. Because for one, why are we doing that? Why are we giving them stuff so cheap that our companies are like, oh, it's cheaper there? You know what I mean? That should never happen. You know what I mean? It should stay here.
Yeah, I don't do anything overseas, so I don't really know. I don't know much about all the tariffs and stuff because I don't.
Oh, dude, it's awesome.
I mean, I don't do anything overseas. I used to. So when we owned the recycling company, we used to ship plastics and glass and stuff like that overseas, and it was real easy when we had to go through customs and ship. But I don't do anything overseas now. I don't sell no CBD, nothing. It can only be within the continental U.S.
I mean, just like simplified. It's a business. You know what I mean? Imports and exports. We shouldn't be importing 90%. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense. Like, we don't make anything here anymore. This is like what our country is founded on.
It's expensive. I mean, it might be cheaper now. You know, like I produce all the CBD products in house, but it's I don't know. It's expensive to use. Like if you like say you want to do like what you were gonna sell tables or whatever, and you found an American manufacturer, it's expensive. Like they charge. You know, I mean, you'd have to sell it for more, which is, you know, obviously difficult because people don't want to pay more. The majority of people are always looking and then you for a deal.
And he's out there bringing these things back. And I'm honestly, when the supply goes up, the price comes down. So you bringing some of these companies back, it's just gonna bring, you know, competition, competitiveness within the companies a little more.
Yeah, well, and the hard part is, so like you have the value added tax, and this kind of, I guess, plays in that a little bit. Like you talk about the supply and the price going down. If say there's a value added tax added, which means, from my understandings, is that when I make a purchase from another company, I also get taxed on that purchase, but I still have to pay federal tax, sales tax, state tax. You know, I still have to pay all my tax.
I'm not for taxes.
But I get taxed also on that purchase. And what happens is the tax from that purchase would then, from my understandings, go into a universal income, which would give other people $1,000 a month. The problem with this whole thing is, so I sell, for instance,
when I go to sell.
Yeah, like say, so for instance, I sell a bottle of oil, CBD oil, 30 milliliters for $69. And what happens is if I got a value added tax put on me in the middle transaction, that bottle goes up to 89 or 99 or 109 or 199.
You don't want to. Right, you're not going to pay it.
Right, because I can't eat that difference because I'm a business. I have to be able to support if I have employees or if, you know.
Yeah, so now you're talking about raising prices,
right,
and taxes.
Yeah, and that's the same with when it comes to income. Everybody fights for a higher minimum wage. We want $15 an hour. The problem with it is, if let's just say they jumped it to 15, what happens is now everything in the store goes up in price. So in turn, you are still making $10 an hour.
Or they're forced to cut employees.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not gonna just be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna spend an extra, $100,000 a year on our employees. No.
Yeah.
They're just gonna
they'll
get rid of some of you, and they're gonna raise their prices. That's
they'll get rid of some of you, and then if they don't raise their prices, they'll just get rid of some of you, and they'll just put, like McDonald's has the self-serve, things.
Now there's no one there.
Yeah.
now.
Like when we lived in Florida, they had those in Florida, but they didn't have them up here. So when we lived down there, you go there and you just, do everything on the screen, and then you just walk up and then get your food. They call it out.
Right. But they get 15 now.
Yeah, it's a little interesting. I think minimum wage should be raised to like 10. I think I said that before. It was like $10 an hour. I think is a good because it's only
7 is ridiculous.
Well, yeah. Well, see, and then it goes back.
I wouldn't do anything for $7 an hour. Nothing.
I'll be honest. I mean, I probably wouldn't do it for $10 an hour.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, so I do web development and I charge $100 an hour when I do that. Obviously I'm writing the code and I'm doing everything. So, I mean, it's expensive. It's not cheap.
Yeah, I'm an electrician, man. Like, I know all about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you call up an electrical company right now, it's going to be at least $100
Yeah,
an hour.
like you can't. Like you can't, but I think a lot of the, I don't know. Seattle did it, and they're seeing the effects of it now. There's small businesses closing, and people are losing their jobs, and they're going more automated.
Man, you said something about Florida. It just reminded me. Did you see what?
Florida's crazy.
Do you see what's going on there?
No, but it's a fucking crazy.
So,
state.
have you ever seen the fact? I've seen it online that you can buy pharmaceutical medication from Canada for half the price that we sell here. You know what I mean? You can buy.
I saw something about like insulin because I know that our insulin here is crazy.
So So since our pharmaceutical companies obviously don't care about us and they just want to make money,
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
Florida asked Trump if they could buy their meds from Canada, and Trump said, you know what, you can. He goes, and I'm going to let a couple more states do it too. You watch the pharmaceutical companies drop their prices.
They'll lower it. Well,
they have to. They're going to have to. They're going to lose all their business. There's no way.
So I suffer from anxiety and shit. Well, I get like nauseous. Like I'm not just nauseous all the time. It's just stupid. So I have nausea medication. Dude, for me to get like 10 pills, it's like $70.
Right. No, wouldn't that be nice if you could pay half that? You know what I mean? And I feel like he has put things in motion to make the pharmaceutical companies.
Well, insulin is
come down
crazy because people would die.
Yeah,
like people would die.
This is lives.
If they literally don't have it.
Yeah, and there's a place that you can get the same thing for cheaper. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's just,
I don't know.
And like, tell me that's not American. He's like, yeah, absolutely, you can.
Well, yeah, I mean, to some people he's not though. Some people he's a racist.
I don't see it. I mean, look at like our debt and stuff with, you know, and like we owe a lot of money to China. He literally pulled out like $30 billion from China, like made them pay it because he raised all the tariffs on them. He raised everything 10%, and he was like, it's gonna keep going up unless you start buying. You have to buy some stuff from us, and you have to stop fentanyl in America. That was literally his stipulation.
Fentanyl's crazy.
Did you know that? That was one of his stipulations.
No, I didn't follow the whole tariffs and like I didn't follow any of that.
And then, so then they made that deal. He raised 10%, and he told me he was going to do another if they didn't. Well, then fentanyl was still coming here. He raised them again, another 10%, and they're like, okay, we'll do whatever we can to stop, you know, to try to help mitigate that. And I was like, how can you not be behind that? He's literally trying to stop China from having fentanyl.
I mean, I think immigration kills him because he talks about a wall, and there is problems with immigration. Like I talked about on the last one. Like I knew a guy that he'd been here like 20 years, man, paid his taxes, everything. But he was gay, so he married a guy, and a couple years after that, they literally just deported him, and it was really fucked up. Like he shouldn't have got deported, but
really?
It was probably because he married a man instead of a woman. So they were like, "Oh, we're gonna look at this because he's not a citizen. He married a man."
It's probably because he did pay taxes. And there's a file of him. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, he did. You know, he had a daughter here and everything. But that's a fucked up situation. But
yeah, that's not. But there's not the problem. Like he's not.
But there's a lot of look, Trump. They just I don't know.
It just sucks because, like with Obama, he flooded us. You know what I mean? He flooded us. He literally opened it up and was like, anybody that's coming from, you know, this country that's having a civil war, you can come here. You know what I mean? And now there's like sanctuary cities in Florida for
So yeah, and then there's I think there's some in like New York.
You know what I mean? And Trump just did a rally down there, there was like 50,000 people at, you know, insane amount of people. And
well, Florida voted for him last year,
yeah.
or in 2016, they were one of the states that
what's his name? Congressman Matt Bates. He's from Florida. He's fucking
It's funny.
Awesome.
We lived there. Me and Haley, obviously we lived there, and that's that state. It's like it's its own country, dude.
That's what you see my post the other day. I said it was a good rally last night, and I'm looking forward to like seeing what happens to Florida because they're not doing sanctuary cities no more. They're allowing to buy their pharmaceuticals at half the price. You know what I mean? Like that state's going to be turning things around a little bit.
Florida is. Did
you see what happened with Clinton?
I'm not like downing anything in Florida, but listen, if you live in Florida, I'm sorry that you live there because it's the people that live.
I would never want to live there.
Dude, the people that live there are fucking like crazy. Like they're like legit. We lived there for 9 months. We got evacuated because of Hurricane Irma. Otherwise, we were gonna move after our lease was up. We were moving to Nashville.
Much better place.
Yeah, that was actually our plan. The people in Florida are fucking crazy. Like, dude, they're like, we were at a stoplight and this dude pulled up next to us and there's blood all over the outside of his car. There's blood all over him and he's on the phone yelling. I thought I was gonna die. I'm like, don't look at him.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I was like, just look straight ahead. Don't.
It's like the Wild West,
dude.
You know
and that was a good part of town.
It's the Wild East now.
Yeah, that was a good part of town. That wasn't even the bad part of town.
Yeah, it's sad really because it is really a beautiful state. You know what I mean? But
the beaches are fucking gorgeous. Like probably some of the nicest beaches. It's so nice, but there's other things about the beaches. I'm sure you would love the beaches. You're a single guy.
beaches are cool.
The women down there are just, they just kind of get up in the morning like let's go to the beach. what do you want to wear? Maybe I don't want to wear too much. I'm just gonna head out to the beach. Me, I'm like, I'm not.
I'm gonna have to go to the store or something.
Yeah, I'm not. I didn't look at anything. I swear, I didn't. No, yeah.
That's
I mean, they got nice beaches, but it's a crazy fucking state. That's a crazy state. Man, that place
Well, that's like I know when Clinton was president and Cuba was having their own little civil war. He gave them lots of weapons, tons of weapons,
yeah,
tons of weapons. And then after when they started fighting, he opened up Florida. He said, "Hey," he opened up our border. He said, "Come on." He let a bunch of them in there, the Cubans. And
Yeah, I guess
stuff.
if you go to Miami, so I haven't been to Miami, but if you go down to Miami, it's like Cuba. It's like
And
literally
that's-
it's
and
like Cuba.
That's why that is that way.
I mean, they're nice people. I don't.
Yeah,
have
I mean, well,
anything,
by
you know.
now, you know, what I mean, this
I ain't
we're
got none.
talking like
Yeah.
20 years ago.
I ain't got nothing against them. I don't remember shit Clinton did. All I remember was Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah, Clinton was funny. Like, he was like that guy that was like, you know what, I'm just along for the ride. I don't make any decisions. I don't do anything. People tell me what to do.
Well, I think his
It was
wife
cool.
ran him the whole
Oh, yeah.
time. Dude, Hillary's a fucking crook.
I seen that. I seen some stuff that people are tying her. Her family is actually related to like the Queen and stuff.
Dude, she's a
part of their
dude,
family.
She's a crook. I don't listen for anybody who's a Democrat or whatever the fuck you are. Hillary Clinton is a fucking crook,
Yeah, for sure.
and Joe Biden is a fucking creep.
Yeah,
So
he's a creep.
listen, don't vote for that guy if he gets.
Did you see what happened to him in his last little rally he did? There was like
Well, I didn't
30
see
people
him.
there.
I know, like he talked to a wall during one of his things.
Well,
He was like
the last
facing
one.
the
There was a
wall.
bunch of Hispanic people there, and they were asking him about deportations.
Yeah.
And are you going to? You said that you're going to stop deportations, and he said, "Well, you know, not if you commit a crime and stuff like that." You know what I mean? And they're like, they started getting mad. They were literally like about to riot
Yeah,
at his own rally
Yeah.
of 30 people. You know that was there.
I don't know. He's nuts. Talking about little boys rubbing his legs and shit in the pool because they liked when his hair was go down and then stick back up, and then he lets little boys sit on his lap. That's a weird motherfucker. That's a weird dude. Just like that Dallas Cowboys jersey.
We're playing tonight. You know,
Cannot believe you.
Bears, man. You're rooting. Everybody's a Cowboy fan tonight.
Well, I'm rooting for the Cowboys tonight because I'm a Packer fan,
Yeah.
but that's just crazy. That Alex, I do a podcast with him. He comes up, he wears like a Bears hat. I'm like, dude, you gotta take that off in my house, man.
Yeah, at least I'm not wearing Bears stuff.
I mean, you guys aren't doing that good though.
We're going to the playoffs. We're top of our division.
Well, yeah, because your division isn't that good.
Because our division just got the Eagles. They're second. They just got crushed by the Dolphins. I'm like,
Yeah, wasn't there a trick play? There was a trick play in there.
Yeah, they got them pretty good.
There was like a trick field goal or some shit. Cowboys fan. Why? How are you a Cowboys fan?
Always been. You think about this. When I was growing up and watching football, they had Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, Deion Sanders.
I mean, I guess, but dude,
You know what
the
I mean?
whole
And the
family, the whole
cheerleaders.
family is like Packers fans.
Well, that's kind of probably another part of the reason. You know what I mean? Like, I got to be different.
You're the
And
only one
Cowboys
that's
were
a Cowboys fan, right?
were
The rest of your
shit.
family is
Everybody.
Packers.
Jesse's a Bears fan, but
What?
yeah, Jesse. So's my grandpa. My mom.
Why? I know that the Sewards, right? I remember your grandma and your grandpa. Was his what's his name?
Ralph.
Ralph. God.
Shorty.
Yeah, I always because I remember like being around the family. They come over for like Christmas. He'd be wearing like Bears gear, but I never Jesse was a Bears
Yeah,
fan.
he's diehard too.
What the
He
fuck,
only
bro?
likes the Bears.
So that's probably fun, dude.
Oh yeah, Dave's a Packer fan. Jesse's a Bear fan. I'm a Cowboy fan. But they're in the same division, so it's a
Yeah.
little bit more of a rival.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're not gonna. I mean, I don't really care too much about them. I guess even if they beat you guys, it wouldn't hurt us. But I'm more
No.
worried about the Vikings.
Yeah, they're just playing for the wild card. Bears are
Because the
They
Vikings
have to
lost,
win.
right? They lost. Did they lose when
Vikings?
they? Yeah,
Yes,
they
they
lost.
did.
Yeah,
Seahawks.
thank God.
Seahawks.
Yeah, that's good. Now we just have to win. We'll probably get beat out
You
of
guys
the
are
playoffs.
going in the playoffs.
Well, we
It's
are,
just
but-
about who you're gonna play.
But I think we'll get
just
beat
don't
out.
get matched up against the Niners. The
We got-
Niners are
I didn't even watch the game. I pulled it up. I was like 8-0. I was like, I'm not fucking watching this.
like the best defense in the league.
Well, they were only beating us by 8, but I'm like, I'm not even gonna turn it on. And then all of a sudden I look at the end. It was like 37-8 or some shit or whatever
Yeah,
the
they
score
never
was. and I'm
scored
like,
again.
oh my god, 37. Jesus, man, what
It's
the
crazy.
fuck? I didn't watch that game. We got whooped.
Yeah, San Francisco's a good team. Good team for sure.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know about football. I don't know. I watch it. We watch it, but
I just like when my team's doing good, and I don't like when they're doing bad.
I don't like the Packers.
I
'Cause-
play fantasy football though, so I watch all the
yeah.
teams. You know, what
Yeah, see, I
got
don't play
guys
fantasy
everywhere.
football.
It's fun. It makes you watch more football.
Yeah, it probably does because you know what I mean. You got all these players and you're following along,
Right.
but I can't. It's hard to watch the Packers, man, because they're stupid. They'll be winning like 30-0, and then all of a sudden this team will come back and almost beat us. I'm like, what the fuck?
I don't know. I've been
like,
having a kind of rough year like that myself, where I'm like, what are you doing?
like how did like Rodgers? I think
He's awesome.
He's all right. He's good, but
he's not. I hope he's great. He's not 100% of the time great.
no, I feel like our coaching staff is still stupid. So they still follow the same thing, you know, run on first, run on second, pass on third. It's like obvious, you know, hey, we're going to run the ball on first, run the ball on second, then we're going to pass it on third down.
Right, no matter what the yards are, you know.
Right, it doesn't matter. That's our plan. And then we just do dumb shit. Like we don't if we're up, we'll like slow down. So we won't play as hard.
Yeah, like,
and then the other team scores, you know. Like the Patriots don't do that shit. The motherfuckers just play like throughout the whole game, even if they're winning.
Yeah.
The 30-0, they just
they don't want to get yelled at by Tom. Tom, listen here.
That motherfucker and Bill Belichick.
Yeah,
that motherfucker. Crazy. They're out there.
I don't know. I hope you guys do good, at least Packers. I hope, you know, Wisconsin and stuff.
I don't know.
I like to be like proud of my state.
I hate the fucking Bears, so I fucking hate them. I just don't even like them. Haley's family's Cowboys fans.
Nice.
They're all from like Laredo.
Oh, yeah.
I mean Laredo, Texas, and obviously
so
obviously Mexico.
It makes sense that they're Cowboy fans.
Yeah, they're fucking.
Yeah, I had a Cowboy wear jersey when I went to Cancun a couple years ago, and a bunch of people.
Yeah,
oh, Cowboys.
Yeah,
Cowboys.
Yeah, he's a Cowboys fan. It's funny. I go over there. We just talk shit. I talk mad shit like
about the Cowboys.
Yeah, because we beat you guys right this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did.
I just couldn't remember if it was this year or last year, but because I'm always talking shit. Like if we win, I'm just like.
Yeah, I know. People like to just call the Cowboys all the time. I deal with it all the time. It's like almost worse than when I get attacked on my political posts. You know what I mean?
You get attacked so bad,
dude. And I don't. I mean, I make comments so it happens. I like discussion, but usually it's not like I'll say something in the first response, like it has nothing to do with what I'm saying.
Well, no, and most of the time it's like you're a dumbass. You don't know what you're talking about. And it's like instead of that, why don't you have a real conversation? But they don't. A lot of them don't have real conversations.
And that's my argument. Well, talk to me about it. You know what I mean? Show me something. And they're going to post some articles, post another article.
They do. They do. You
post 100 articles. I don't care.
And they just shit on you.
Yeah, no, and then like I just get my point out, and I try not to fight because like they like want to fight and they hate.
Oh yeah,
they have so much like hate.
No, I know. I look in the comments and I think about because I share a lot of stuff about the Second Amendment, and I don't get nobody likes it, and nobody comments though. But I share a lot of stuff about Second Amendment. Haley's sister, so Haley's the oldest of 4 girls. So she's got Haley, and then she's got 3 younger sisters. Her one sister, Alyssa, was pissed. I shared a lot of stuff about the Second Amendment, about guns and so on, and she messaged me on Snapchat, and it was this long message, and I didn't save it, but she was like, she's like, I know you've been with my sister for like 11 years and all that shit, blah blah blah. She's like, but you're just a ruthless prick. You're just an asshole. And I like went on
coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, and I'm like, all this. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And so then I show Haley, and I'm like, do you need to like talk to your sister? Like I'm not. And I was like, I didn't even say nothing. Like I literally didn't say nothing because I was like, I'm not about to fight with your sister. Like you. And she's a nice person, but she's like one day she's a man, one day she's a woman, one day she's neither type of person, you know. So she's very like neutral. Which look,
do what you do.
For everybody who knows me knows that I don't believe in like I don't believe in if you're a man. I don't believe in becoming a woman. You know, I'm okay with gay. If you want to be gay, I don't give a fuck. If you met me and you were a man, but you became a woman and you met me, I wouldn't treat you like shit, because I'll treat you the way you treat me.
Right.
You know, so I'll always treat everybody with respect, but I don't believe in it. It's just not something I agree with.
Yeah.
Although there's a lot of men who become women who, if you were in a bar and I had a couple of drinks in me, we probably would be going home, and then I'm going to get a huge surprise.
It's about to be 2020. You gotta look under the hood.
Because some of these they look like women, but she just went off on me. And then she told Haley, she's like, well, he shouldn't be sharing all this stuff. And Haley's like,
That's what it was about.
Yeah, and Haley's like, don't follow him. If you don't like the stuff he shares, don't be friends with him on Facebook. So she defriended me and stuff, and I was like, that's fine, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like the biggest thing is sometimes I share it sometimes to get spite out of people, because they go there's no facts. There's zero facts. Like when people talk about guns, zero facts.
Somebody got shot, ban guns.
Yeah, there's literally zero facts when something happens with a gun. If there's a school shooting, it's automatic. Well, the gun, the fucking.
They don't even know that there was a gun yet,
right?
And they're still blaming the gun.
Yes, CNN is like the shooting happened 1 minute ago, and they're like, well, it was an AR-15, had a 50-round magazine in it,
blew a hole this big,
right?
in it.
Fucking buckshot. Is fucking had
a geek out. You see that video where they're like, this is an AR-15 on a watermelon. It's a shotgun.
I know. And then they go, why do you need, like, people go, you're not gonna take an AR to go hunting, you destroy the deer. I'm like, dude, people hunt with 308s, bro.
Yeah,
dude, people are.
That's like a preferred one. I like. With 308,
dude. An AR-15 hunting a deer. It's like a rabbit gun. That's like something you go rabbit hunting, squirrel hunting. Like, listen, I carry my gun loaded. So when I say loaded, there's one in the chamber at all times.
Loaded.
And the way I carry my firearm is I carry it in the front of my waist. So it's pointed literally almost right down at my area, my private area. And it don't scare me. It don't scare me one bit.
What do you mean? It's never shot by itself?
Yeah, right, exactly.
It can't just do that?
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, dude, it doesn't just, things don't just happen.
You got to pull a trigger.
I know. And then they're on TV talking about like, wow, they got the clip in there. And then it's like, there's no fucking clip. What clip?
I don't even think that there's a limit to what these people would do to get rid of their guns.
It's pretty crazy.
I shared something today, it said something, what was it? 1,200 plus cameras.
I don't know. I didn't see
1,200 plus cameras in that hotel in Vegas that got shot up.
Yeah.
And not one seeing the guy bring in 80 guns. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he had a lot of guns in his room.
80 guns.
And when I say guns that he had in his room, first, for number one, he had assault rifles. They were automatic, fully automatic, not bump stocks. So when you pull the trigger,
it's illegal.
Yeah, when you pull the trigger, it just keeps on firing. For everybody who understands this, assault rifles in America are illegal.
Yeah, you can't have
right. You can't have an assault rifle. It's actually illegal. So, right, this dude carries in 50 caliber sniper rifles and fucking turret guns and shit. And everybody's like, we didn't
all illegal guns and stuff. Yeah, we never saw him on any camera.
Right, this dude's everybody's like, we didn't. And then they go to his house and everybody in his neighborhood's like, oh no, he's a nice guy. Nice guy. Went to work, came home. We never saw him unloading a whole semi full of guns. Never.
And they have to let these things happen because like the people that run stuff and the New World Order people, they like chaos and you know.
Well, there was just a thing I think in Oshkosh that happened or something.
Yeah.
Where the I don't know if it was a gun. I know the liaison officer got stabbed or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man.
I didn't really read into it.
I didn't read too crazy. People are crazy. People go, well, if we get rid of guns, we'll have less shootings. And I will tell you right now,
that's like false.
Being a gun owner and knowing a lot about firearms, if you get rid of guns, you will not have less. I'm not gonna say mass shootings, but you will have less mass deaths. So a mass shooting is considered 2 or more people. I think.
Which is bogus.
Right.
They really need to change that.
Right. So when you look at statistics and it says there's been 150 mass shootings, right? So that can be a gang member shooting 2 gang members in Chicago. It can be a domestic. It's not necessarily like a school shooting. If you look at statistics with school shootings or actual,
they should call them public shootings.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
right.
Not mass.
But if you ever got rid of guns, people would just find other means to.
Well, and they do.
Yeah. Well,
they do. Right
like
now.
I've said. I mean, statistically, guns are not number one when it comes to killing
and it's like
people.
Honestly, there's like 500,000 deaths a year from heart disease.
Yeah. I mean, there's more deaths from like
Let's focus on that. Why don't we ban cigarettes? You want to ban something that's actually killing people?
Well, no, they banned vape.
Yeah, that's because you can't mess with them cigarette companies. You know what I mean? They're gonna.
Oh, dude, they don't fuck around. They're like, listen,
play.
these motherfuckers are starting to gain some traction.
Yeah,
we gotta.
Yeah,
let's bump them motherfuckers out. Yeah, which I mean, look, vaping. I mean, if you smoke anything, I don't give a fuck if you smoke marijuana. If you inhale anything into your body, even inhaling air, it's not good for you. Like our air isn't good for us.
Right.
Okay, but if you're inhaling, cannabis, CBD, it doesn't matter. It's still going into your lungs. Mm-hmm. But cigarettes, it's got poison in it though.
It's got extra. It's not just tobacco.
Right. If you're smoking just tobacco, it's actually not that terrible. Like it's not that terrible. Mm-mm. Like just pure tobacco.
Right. It's way, way, way better for you.
But it ain't like that. It ain't. No. You're putting in.
And it's like I smoke cigarettes when I drink sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like I don't smoke every day, but if I'm drinking, I like to have a cigarette, and it's like literally the poison in it what makes it better. You know what I mean?
Oh, it is. Yeah. It's not the tobacco,
get a buzz and stuff.
It's everything else in it. Yeah. I've been smoke free for I think almost 3 years now.
I chew, but I don't smoke.
Dude, I loved smoking. I fucking loved it.
But
then I quit.
The smell of it and stuff like that.
I quit when we moved to Florida. I was like, I'm not gonna do it no more. And I'm healthier. I mean, I work out every day. I don't drink really. I don't smoke cigarettes.
You seen my post? You talking about guns? You seen my post with 500,000 hunters in Wisconsin?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, I know. I
out
saw
and
that.
Nobody killed anybody else.
I think I brought that up
I
to
got
Alex.
ripped on that one.
Yeah, I know. People were pretty pissed off. Like,
They were talking about other states and talking about shootings all over everywhere, and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
look,
I'm just talking about the fact that like I'm proud of my state because we're doing something right.
I mean, hunters die. Like, look, I get it. People are like, well, no, they died. There's been, yeah, I get it.
No one died this year. They shot him in his foot.
I mean, listen, man.
2 foot shots.
If you're not wearing orange and you're wearing camo and you're in the fucking woods walking around like a deer, you might get shot.
Basically,
I mean, don't be stupid.
Yeah. They shot themselves, a couple people this year, but no one died. And it's like that was my point was one, I'm proud of my state because we have a lot of hunters and they all have the ability to go out and not kill each other. You know what I mean? Like that's
you
cool.
never anything you ever post. I don't know if I've ever seen a post from you where somebody commented and they were like, yeah.
Yeah. No, they don't like to do that. All my friends, they all
like even your friends are like, dude, you're a dick, but I'll see you at work tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, and a couple of my buddies, you know what I mean? Like they're not like one of my buddies, one of my best friends. He's always hanging around me, but he's not either. You know what I mean? And he doesn't really like Trump, but like he sees what people and he asks me questions. You know what I mean? Like, I seen you post that. You know what's all about that? And I'm telling him like the stuff with like I think it was the UN and stuff like that. Like we all contribute to the defense program that
you talk about NATO.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
we all a bunch of different countries contribute. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they got countries paying 2%, 1%, less than 1%, and we're paying like 28%.
Yeah,
of the general fund. And he just demanded, hey, you guys are at least going to 6 immediately. Like, you know what I mean? This is bullcrap. Why are we paying for all of this?
Yeah, it's like so. Tulsi Gabbard was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and that's where I like really listened to her, and she's running for the Democratic nominee. Okay. And one thing she said was, you know, we're not strategic when we just go to war. We just go to war. And we're just fighting.
Some people are doing it on purpose because there's something.
Well, I mean, obviously there's oil.
There's agendas.
Mean, if we didn't have, I don't think if there was a lot of oil over there, I think, you know, listen, for number one, I don't think we should be. I don't have a problem with helping but we basically the way it works is it goes. Another country has a problem, and they call us, and then we go, okay, we'll come over there, and we'll try to help fix it, with our manpower and our stuff, and then, you know, that's costing everybody money. Instead of us saying, this is the deal, listen, you guys got to try to fix it. You have to, because it's your country, you have to try to fix it. And then we focus on our veterans and then our homeless issues that we have in our impoverished areas in the country, okay? Mm-hmm. And to get these kids out of there so they can live better, because I'm real big on that. But we don't do that. We don't give a fuck. We're like, you live in
how much money there is to be made in war, though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And there's a ton of money, and it sounds weird, but there's a lot of money actually being made in these impoverished areas by letting the area get impoverished and get gang ridden, and there's actually money being made.
Like the Bank of the World Bank.
Yeah,
they're awesome because you know what they do? Every single country that ever goes through war, they come in and they're like, hey, loans. We got loans. We got loans for everybody. And they just loan this shit out with like giant interest, and like the country's forever in debt.
Well, it's basically just power. We go over there and we say, listen, here's the deal. We'll help you, but this is what we want.
Yeah. And
then we're basically but we don't. That's how we insert our power into other. But we don't have to do that, and we don't focus on anything in the U.S. Like that's a big issue. Nobody gets it, but there's nothing in the United States that really gets focused on. Like, look at Chicago. Okay, they have super strict gun laws, some of the strictest. They have the most gun crime.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's all impoverished areas. They're shutting schools down in the impoverished areas, and all these people are like, wow, they can get out. They can get out. Well, I mean, have you lived in the ghetto? Have you lived impoverished in your life? A lot of these people who say it have never had any issue.
At least to that level. I mean, I thought I did.
Right.
They're on a whole different level.
Right. Like honest to God, these kids and human beings that are living in these areas. Like, a lot of people go, well, they're choosing. Well, not necessarily are they choosing to be in that fucking area. They can't get out.
I would love for us to spend some money on that. You know what I mean?
But we don't.
Can support
and
that.
And then the veterans. Well, they came back from war. I mean, they should go to work, right? But there's a whole lot of issues. So let's help them. Let's help them get better care,
Trump
get
did.
better
You see that?
medicine. Well, I know. Like he's done stuff with veterans and stuff. But like we could build little communities for them. We got the resources for that.
Yeah.
And then the homeless, like.
It's sad when you see actors and you know people that are celebrities that do more. and we have the ability.
Yeah. Well, the fucked up part is take California. So you take California has. It's probably one of the richest states based on just how many rich people live there, based on actors and shit, and it's a shit. Yeah, it's just a shit state.
Honestly, like I was hoping they would like break off a long time ago.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck because all the actors, they don't give a shit. The only reason they're there is because that's where their job is. They don't give a fuck about their community.
I'm saying like a select handful. You know what I mean? There's a couple I see do good things, like Brad Paisley, the country music artist.
Yeah, I don't want.
He opened a free grocery store. For homeless people, free groceries.
Yeah, I don't listen I don't listen to a ton of music anyway, but I don't listen to like a lot of rap or country's all right. I don't mind country because I kind of resonate more with like the
story.
Yeah, a little bit of a slower song,
like you could follow along.
Yeah, like nothing against rapping. Hey, I think it's an art, but it's hard with today's rappers. It's not like Tupac type shit.
Oh yeah, where he would tell some stories.
Well, right, like and he had meaning behind his shit. The rappers now is a lot of hibbity dibbity.
Just say some words and have a cool beat.
Yeah, and it's not. It's like the hook, and then there's like two words, and then the hook, and the two same words, and then the hook, and then the two same. It's like literally the same. It's like they literally repeat. The song is literally like 30 seconds long, but they make it 2.5 minutes. To whereas like when Tupac sang, it was like
like verses.
It was actually shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, country's good.
I've been playing music. Like, that's the thing. Right here, like me and my kid's mom, we broke up like 4 years now. But ever since then, like one of my close friends, Marty Morgan, Party Marty, he got me. He noticed I play guitar and sing and stuff. And he's like, "You're coming to a show," and I've done like 35 now.
Live
at bars.
shows?
Yeah, at bars.
Like at bars.
Yeah, at
Do
bars.
they pay you for that?
Yep.
They pay you?
I get paid. He gives me money, and I'm just when he first paid me my first one, I was like, "Really? You're giving me money?" He's
does
like,
the bar so the bar pays him, and then
the bar be like, here's let's just say $250 cover the night. You got 4 hours you got to cover, and then he just does whatever he wants with the 4 hours. But, so sometimes he'll bring in other acts and like
what
split
bars
up the money.
It just in Janesville or just
I played Zox down the street.
Is that's
Riley's.
where the GM used to? Is that where the old GM used to be? Is that Zox?
Zox
in that little corner.
It's like their sister bar, but it's right down the road from there, down the street.
Okay.
I played there. Played at Riley's Sports Bar.
Oh, that's downtown.
By the Y.
That's right down. It's
that
like
place is awesome.
Kind of like
a deck on top.
Yeah. Do they have like which is one of those has like a? I thought they had like a golf.
He owns it. It's just like 2 doors down.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that place is pretty cool. I played at Newt's in Orfordville.
Oh yeah. My parents live close
the Tavern in Beloit, which is where I play next December 15th at the Tavern.
Well, you shared something in the chat. Is that what you shared?
This is
that
different.
One?
No, that's this New Year's. Marty asked me to play a show down at DTS, down the street.
Where's that?
That's the one that's across from Game Day, right by GM.
Oh, okay.
But New Year's Eve party, and I was like, yeah, I'll play. And then he's like, hey, do you know anybody that wants to play? And I was like, let me ask my cousin. So now Timmy's playing too.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if he's ever played like a live show like that.
I don't know. I think he played at. Didn't he play at Brandon's wedding? Jeremy.
Yeah, he did.
I think he maybe sang.
I mean, he's super comfortable. Like I know he'll do it. Like he ain't gonna be like. He's not gonna like my first time. I was like.
Well, he's gotta be good, Timmy. If you listen, fucking idiot.
Yeah. So I think he might even be starting it off the whole night. So I think that'd be pretty cool.
Do you just cover? Do you just cover songs?
Mostly. Because I mean, you're at the bar. I'm playing for like an hour, right? And it's like if I play songs that I made up, people wouldn't even.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't even, be interested. But I've played like Freebird or something cool.
Was that Leonard Skinner?
Yeah.
Is that Freebird?
That's one of the new songs. I might cover that one. I'm not sure. Not the whole picking, but I can.
Yeah,
play the song.
You gotta like record your own shit and just put that shit up.
I got a couple of videos on YouTube. I made a YouTube channel, Rob Schroeder.
I know you sent like in the chat because I never talk in it, but I always see all the chats from everybody, and you put one up of you and some other guy who like I don't know, you guys like were singing.
Oh yeah, it's Chelsea's little brother.
Yeah, that's the guy's name.
John Flodine, which he's been doing. Like in the last year, I played probably 5 shows with him, like just me and him. Like we're doing the Tavern together, me and him. So it's
funny.
Fun.
Yeah, the guy I do the other podcast with, he's that's what he does. He's like makes music and stuff or whatever, but it's a different kind of music. I mean, it's not bad. Like he's good at what he does. But he's really trying to make a go of it now. Like it's kind of, he's always had to work full time, so it's like He's always done it on the side, which not a lot of time to do it, you know, because you're working and you got to find time. But he's good. He makes beats. I think he sings, but I think now he's like trying to focus on like making beats, and he makes
That's pretty cool though.
more of like not like country beat though.
Yeah, like rap.
Kind
Hip-hop.
of, yeah, kind of like a rap EDM type of beat type deal.
I've been getting down on that too. I can freestyle.
I didn't even know what EDM was, and then he told me. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't even know it was
Really?
electronic dance music.
Yeah,
I had
that's,
no idea. I was like, what the fuck is that? He goes, oh,
DJ
it's this.
stuff.
And I was like, oh, yeah, listen to that when I was younger. I was fucking baked skateboarding.
That's funny. Yeah, it's been fun though, like, playing guitar. Like lately I just pick it up, start playing some random chords, and then I'll freestyle.
I know your
on top of
brother
it.
gets on there, sends videos on that chat of him singing. Where does he live?
Oh, Ricky, he's been staying with my grandma.
Vicky. What's her name?
My aunt?
No,
Beverly.
Beverly. God, I always think Vicky, but that's.
Yeah, it's.
Where's your grandma live? Janesville?
Yeah, on Main Street.
Oh, is Ricky still with
I don't know. I don't think so. I hope not.
Did you talk to your dad?
No, can't really talk to him. You know, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like I don't know, tough love type situation for me. Kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like because I'm 32. I'm at this point where like I've long past needed an actual father. You know what I mean? Like I've already became my own man type thing.
Oh, because I just Felicia have asked a couple of times. That's cool, man. Making music is I can't do it, so I don't play any instruments. I have no music ability whatsoever. I can't sing. I can't play an instrument. This is the best it gets. Developing a website and fucking,
that's pretty cool stuff.
Editing a podcast and shit. But that is literally all I do. Everybody. Look at Timmy plays an instrument. You play an instrument. Ricky?
Jesse does now too.
Jesse. Okay, Jesse. I don't know if Jake does. I'm not sure.
No,
does Dave?
So. Dave don't. I mean, he sings a lot. He goes to all my shows. He's like my number one fan. I love it when Dave's there. I bring him on stage and everything. Like, here, sing.
Well, I always see you guys together. You guys are like best
he's
friends.
He's my wingman now.
Yeah,
it was like I had one of my buddies was my wingman, then he got a girlfriend, and then my other buddy became my wingman, and then he like stupid went back to jail, and then it's like Jesse became my wingman, then he got a girlfriend. It's like, no, Dave, what's up?
Yeah, he's with you like everything.
He's in training. That's what I call it all the time.
He's in training.
Because he'll be like at the bar, it'd be like 9 o'clock, and he's about to die, and I'm like, he's in training. He's like, now you can go good.
That's funny. He's in training.
Mm-hmm.
That's yeah.
But he goes to work every day and stuff, and like he don't need to be like living, you know, with family and stuff like that. It's like it sucks when you live with your family members. You start to build bad relationships and like things you don't like about them. When you don't live with them, like you can be the best of friends. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean,
so I just kind of took him away from that situation. Like as long as you work.
I mean, I don't see the family a lot. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm busy, but it's hard because I don't drink, and you know, I have nothing against smoking. I mean, everybody in the family does. I don't give a fuck, you know. But I don't do that. Yeah, I just like don't do anything, and it's like it's hard because a lot of the family, there's not like a ton in common. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's not like, you know, I'm like always doing business shit, and then if I'm like doing podcasting, and they're like, well, you know, I don't.
What's
like,
a podcast?
Yeah, like Jake, like what's a podcast? It's like, what the fuck you mean? You know, go look it up, type into Google podcasting, and bring up, you know, the thing. So it's like, I don't know, but when there was a woman that I was gonna have on here, and she does like CBD and stuff, and she had to cancel because she was doing something else, and I was like, well, I need to like do another one, you know, because I try to keep them I want to keep like pretty close, like one a week. I'd like to do like 3 or 4 a week, but it's hard to find that many people to come on. So I was like, well, I could reach out to some of the family. I mean, you know, they got stories, but you know, so I was like, we'll see what happens. So I was like, I'll put it out there. Like,
I don't know, a lot of people out there get their feelings hurt real easy. You know what I mean?
Everybody gets their feelings hurt real easy.
Everyone just so sensitive. Like just so sensitive.
Everybody's super sensitive. Anything. Timmy is real sensitive if he ever listens to it. No, I'm just kidding.
That's funny.
No, I don't know. So I put it out there. Yeah, I don't know. Ooh.
We'll see.
I mean, there's other ones that listen to it, but it's like, I don't know.
Maybe when I have a couple originals that I'm working on right now, and like I'm good, but it'd kind of cool. Maybe you could do a little EP release or something.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
Come and like talk about a song that I just made and play it or something.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Because I do have a couple. Like one of them's getting worked on right now in the studio, and then 2 of the other ones I just wrote on the guitar, but they're pretty cool.
Yeah, it's you gotta get like get it's. I mean, it's not that expensive to like get something decent.
I have to build me a computer. That'll be good.
I spent $500. That computer's worth like $2,000.
Yeah, see, that's what I want.
Yeah, I spent $500.
I need something like
I just
that.
bought everything. I just bought it all online. Bought the motherboard. I bought the motherboard, and then it was easy. I bought the motherboard, the processor, everything was separate, and all you it's easy. It's not even hard. You just put everything in the case, put the processor.
I just
in the
wouldn't know
motherboard.
what to even get. I'd be like, yeah, I'm missing everything. You know what I mean? Like, well, I got this part.
It's so easy. I mean, I had an idea. Obviously, like I've done web development, so like I kind of have an idea of like what I was looking for, and I mean, it was as easy. I just went online and got an idea of how I wanted it, what kind of processor I wanted. And I just found some, not really deals. I mean, everything is like super cheap now. Cause I was going to buy one, but they're like $2,000. I'm like, oh, fuck, it's been $2,000. And then I was like, went online, priced everything out. I was like $550. Like, all right, I can do that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So I just spent $550 and it can handle, I mean, I can run, Audition, Premiere, Photoshop, and Illustrator. I mean, all at the same time. For anybody who doesn't really know, those are all like Illustrator and Photoshop are design programs, and then you have Premiere, which is a video editing program, and then Audition, which is a audio recording program. So I can like run them all at the same time and still have juice left in it, which is it's really good. Yeah, it's hard to. You can do it from a laptop. Like you could probably get away with it from like just a laptop because it's not. I mean, you're not like
this bad boy here, and then you're good.
Yeah, I mean that's cheap too. That was it was like $160.
Yeah, that's what you
for
need.
that. I had a different one that I paid a little more for. But then I bought that. What I would say you get is like don't even get that. It's called a Zoom H6. They're more expensive, like $349. But what's nice about it is so this has to actually plug into the computer. The Zoom H6 you don't have to plug into a computer. Just everything gets downloaded right onto an SD card. So it does the same thing this does.
Oh, but you don't even need the computer.
No.
It's cool.
It's like this big. And then what you can do is you can run like a video or a audio program right on a laptop. If that's all you're running, you don't have to build a computer. You just run that.
I want to game on it.
Oh well, then yeah, you got to build the one if you want to game on it.
For sure, dude. You get to do so much way more cooler things.
But the Zoom H6 is nice because you don't have to be at your house. Like you could go to a friend's house and then you bring your mics and your XLR cords and fucking put your Zoom H6 and you plug them in and it's got a record stop button all right on the device and it shows it'll show you your levels.
For sure.
Hey, just go to Amazon and type in Zoom H6, like $349 or something. Because I'm buying one.
Oh really?
Yeah, and like maybe I might do it next week.
That's probably good, like especially if you're doing like remote stuff.
Yeah.
Like you're not here.
They're nice. Like I like to have a different equipment. So like these are dynamic microphones. So they have they don't pick up as much around. And then I have condenser microphones. So a condenser mic is really good for vocals, but it picks up a lot of the stuff around it. So
yeah, they put like shields around.
Yeah, so the noise floor will be it'll have a little bit more of a noise floor, to whereas dynamic mics don't really pick up a lot around it, so they stay a little quieter.
I like the sound of that though. I think that sounds good.
Yeah, and dynamic mics are a little bit more bassy, a little more thick. Yeah. And then you got the condenser mics; they're not as thick, a little bit more vocal. I like dynamic, but
yeah, I like the sound.
I don't know. I just like to have all different kinds of stuff because I don't know what like if I wanted to go to somebody's house, I just want to have everything I need, which I have all the equipment. I just don't have. I mean, I could take that to someone's house, but. I don't want to do that. Yeah, dude, you should do that. Fucking do that and then fucking record shit.
Pop off a little bit, make a little more money. Even though I already have a job, so it's like I can't be like too committed to it. But at the same time, like I do play the guitar every day, every day.
Well, yeah, but you might be able to make some money, dude.
Yeah.
Like I mean, who knows? Maybe. I mean, dude, you never know. You could do it and then
write one song, really.
And then you could just like I mean, it takes the one thing, man. It's crazy. It takes one little thing, and then you're fucking.
Yeah.
Like
I'm definitely like on that. Like I'm just keep getting better and like more.
Yeah, I mean, if you keep on talking political, nobody's gonna watch your shit.
I know, they hate it. They hate it. But dude, we'll win again, though. I promise you.
nobody's gonna follow your shit because they're like, nah, fuck this guy.
Which is weird because I'm thinking, dude, we're a Republican state. What's going on here? But our city is definitely not. Like,
and we got Tony Evers, and he came in, and he's Democratic, but he can't really do a lot because we have a Republican legislative. But I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, I mean,
I just posted something the other day, and it was like, like the core beliefs and values of Democrats. Like, I'm with it. You know what I mean? I like helping people.
Yeah.
I just think that to me, I like prioritize bad things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, there's worse things that, in my mind, should be our main concern.
Yeah, I mean, there is, and like I like their beliefs, but in 2019, their beliefs are skewed a bit. Like
there was the biggest problem in my mind, like the number one issue that I think that we have immediate tangible issue that's like right now, type thing, is just the fact that the Federal Reserve prints our money, and this is a private entity. We don't control them. Like, we don't. You know what I mean? And they're responsible for creating the money, and the way it works is, okay, so they print $20. They print it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now you have $20. They give this to you, but now you owe $25. That extra interest, $5, is never printed. So if you collected every single currency in our whole nation, we'd still be in debt. It wouldn't even be. It doesn't exist. Interest is never printed. So you're never gonna be debt free ever.
It's weird.
Not once. And to me, like, everything's driven off of our debt. You know what I mean? Like, everything is driven off of that. And the fact that we're paying that to a private entity of people, and interest is never created, and so you can't ever be debt free. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't know much about all that. Like with the debt, I never really looked into it.
Like, the favorite thing I ever learned, monetary system. There was a guy running for president when Obama was running, Ron Paul. He tried so hard, and right now he's like the commissioner on like the currency, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's on it now, but he didn't get to be president because he was never allowed to debate. Like, he was like, literally, they closed the doors on him.
Yeah, well, they have these the debates are so stupid because for number one, there's commercials, okay, which is fucking dumb.
How much money did you pay for that commercial?
Well, it's like just stupid. Like, you can't even listen to these people because it's like every 5 seconds you have a commercial, and then there's like I understand that everybody like still thinks like, you could think conspiracy, whatever. Like, we just live in this country where I guess Donald Trump became president. So there is, some sort of a thing there where it's like you can become president, but it's difficult.
Not anybody could do that.
I mean, he ran. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's not like he was like a myth. It's like a one-off type deal.
He's unique. He's unicorn.
Like, it's not. I don't think that's going to happen again. To where like like the Democrats already have their nominee. They can go through debates. But dude.
Like, if Trump wins this election, like after that, like, there's not going to be someone else that's like in a position.
Well,
to
no,
do the things he's
like
doing.
look at him. I mean, look. Epstein didn't kill himself.
Right.
Okay.
He didn't. Dude.
I mean, I think everybody knows this. And I mean, look, the Clintons had to whack his ass, man. They had to fucking whack that motherfucker. I mean, Bill and him were good friends.
That's insane to me to think that, like, what does our FBI even do? What does our FBI do when it comes to politicians, or like at all?
Dude, there's a thing I like, something was I think it was in my email but it showed like, it was like this real crazy list of like all the people who knew the Clintons and then said something that the Clintons didn't agree with, and they're all dead.
Yeah, like all had like random accidents.
Like literally, like the one guy left his house one night, his car blew up, ran into a tree. Okay, ran into a tree and his car blew up. Like, they're all dead.
Yep.
Okay, like,
that's weird.
Like,
that's more than a coincidence.
Like, listen, right? Like people are like, oh no, it's just conspiracy, dude. It's just conspiracy. It's like, I don't think so, man. Like, I don't.
Maybe like on two of them.
Right. Like, there's like 30. There was like 30 fucking people on this list.
It's insane.
And every one of these people like knew that, like, they did shit with the Clintons, worked with their foundation or whatever.
Or tried to call them out.
Right. And then it's like they said something bad about them, and then they were like dead a week later. Like, I'm just saying,
they don't fuck around.
What I'm saying is, it's a little bit weird. Like, and people are like, well, no, they didn't kill him. I don't know, man. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, no. Why would they do that?
Right. So, because they're kind of like they kind of like run the.
They're like the mob. You know
yeah, they kind of like run the Democratic Party.
Mob. Oh yeah.
That's why I said like the nominee is probably already. I feel like it's gonna be Joe Biden, but I mean,
I just feel like he's already. That's their best candidate.
Yeah, well, he won't win it. He won't win against Trump. It's not gonna happen.
Well, then you might as well just waste Biden on this one then, because like, you know what I mean. Like,
well, he just can't win. The dude literally got on TV and talked to a wall.
Yeah,
like I didn't see the video.
Nobody wants.
I didn't see the video, but the dude literally was talking to a wall as he was trying to speak to the people. Like, I'm just saying, if you go on TV and you can't find the podium, Like, dude, and then you're talking about little boys rubbing your legs in a pool because they want to see the hair go up and then bounce on it. Like, dude, you need to like, little kids, not little boys, but little kid. Like, dude, this guy is
that's strange.
Like kissing people on. He's like
he bit his woman's finger.
Yeah, and he's like whispering in kids' ears and shit, and he's like doing weird stuff.
Something about like the Candyman or something.
Yeah, he's like doing weird stuff. Like, I'm just saying,
creepy Uncle Joe.
I think if Tulsi ran, I think she's got a pretty big following.
Problem is like she's not aligned with those people that run the Democratic
Well, no, and
Party.
the Clintons don't like her. Hillary called her some kind of like a Russian something.
And honestly, like it's not like Trump is like all the hardcore right people like support him. He was just popular enough. Like he didn't even need them. He just didn't want to be a Democrat because he's always been Republican.
Well, and what's going to hurt the Democrats is if they go with Joe, some of these Democrats will go independent.
Oh yeah,
which will take votes away from the Democrats. I know Tulsi said she won't. So if she doesn't get the nominee, she won't go independent. I wish she would because I think it's stupid if you don't get it. And that's another dumb thing. And I say, so it's like you get 20 people and they're all running, get 20, you get 10 on the Republican side, 10 on the Democratic side, but there's only one nominee for each. That's dumb.
Oh yeah. No.
Why are we not like, oh, they're all just running, and when you go vote, you can vote for whoever the hell you want.
Right. Like you get a group of 10.
Right. Yeah. You get
then let's
even
see
if it's 5 people on each side, so you get 10 people.
It sucks when you're like, you get choose this guy or this guy, and it's like, well, I don't like either one.
Right. Like why is there a nominee? Why are we not letting them go and we just go, oh, we'll just go vote for this guy because he's running? Why do we have to do this whole thing where it's like just one each? Like that's stupid. Put them all on the fucking ballot and let's just
our whole our election system.
And the whole thing. Like we have an electoral college, which I don't know a lot about all the electoral college and all that shit. But dude, I'm just saying, man. I just feel like it'd be real easy. You get 5 people on each side, 5 Republicans, 5 Democrats, or 10 Republicans, 10 Democrats, and all of them run, which means people just go vote for who the fuck they want.
Get a bigger variety of choices
and then
there.
you count the votes. 1, 2 for each person, and whoever has the most votes in America wins it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like now it's like easy. Well, I have to get Florida, or I have to get Texas, or I have to get Wisconsin. It's like
you don't have to. Yeah.
Right. Like, listen. Let's just vote. And
the only part that would suck is like, if like you end up getting with somebody that's obviously going to favor like the Western. You know what I mean? And then but you live in the East, and you're like,
I mean,
shoot.
It's different. It's weird, but I don't know. I don't believe in the.
But there should be a different way.
The one president thing is stupid, and then nobody's got any term limits. Everybody's just like they can just be in there for 50 fucking years.
I hate that. That is like a super big. Like they literally blame Trump for things that he's done, and he's been there for 3 years. They've been there for 45 years. What have you done?
Yeah,
well, you know what I mean.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like so everybody's like, well, he did this, and it's like, wait a minute though. Whoa, wait a minute though. You've been in office for like 30 years.
You know better.
Like what's you're talking about this whole thing? Like when they go to immigration is such a big thing, and I think that's what hurts him a lot too. Is this dude and even the African American community? They're so mad at Trump. They're so pissed off at Trump, but yet your elected officials that you elected in the city or state or whatever that you live in, they've been in that office for 30 years and haven't helped you.
Yeah,
Whose
and
fault?
You're so mad.
Whose fault is it really? Like I don't give a fuck if they're Republican or Democrat. Whose fault is it for real though? It's that motherfucker's fault. It's a chain of command though. Trump has to. It's not like he can just sit behind the desk and be like, "Yeah, this is what's going to happen." Like this is a chain, man. He's got to go through.
And look how much he's actually moving. He's doing things. You compare his presidency to Obama's, where like he just kind of kicked his feet up.
Well, Obama, he was just smooth, man. That motherfucker could get on TV and say,
he could say
he literally be like,
he
snorted a line of cocaine and I fucked my daughter, and everybody would clap. Everybody would be like, "Oh yeah, we're so happy."
They laugh like, "Oh, he's just joking."
Yeah, like everybody be like, "Oh my God, he was so smooth at talking." And I mean, look, Trump could. I mean,
he's not a good talker.
I mean, the family that we were obviously born into, we're just real people. So you say real shit, you swear, whatever. So like, to me, it doesn't bother me
because he's being honest.
Because I feel he's being who he really is, but. You have to show, I guess, some kind of like, because you are.
There's been plenty of times where I'm like, dude, you really just say that. But like, he's doing a press conference, he's doing a rally, and he's literally like talking about the news, the media.
Yeah.
He's like, you scumbags.
I know, yeah.
He's like to their faces.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
he's
and I
for
just
real.
love it. And he's like, watch this. CNN is the worst news, and they shut their. He's like, look, they shut their camera off.
Yeah.
He's laughing at him.
I
You know
know.
what I mean? And it just cracks me up.
I mean, it's crazy, but it's funny because these
be real.
like these motherfuckers, like Obama's like, we killed Osama bin Laden, we did it. Trump gets on and Trump's like, this motherfucker went into a hole and we blew him up.
Yeah, you can't mess with America.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and I mean, I think some of it's okay, but Obama was smooth, man. That motherfucker, he could say anything. He could say anything. He could say, even if he literally get on TV and say, I just spied on every single person in America, and I know everything about you, and
I'm going to continue to do that.
Right, and I'm going to continue to do it, and everybody be like, oh, yeah, like you,
they were crying and stuff.
yeah, like right,
he's so amazing.
right, he's so good because he was so smooth, man. He was real good.
He was a world president. His job was to give America like a sort of stake in the New World Order.
He was good,
and like that's basically what he did. You know that it's a. I don't want to say it's a crime, but our president is not ever supposed to like chair any other foreign government ruling system.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Obama was the first one that actually was like chairman on NATO and stuff. Like the UN. It was the UN. He did it.
It's weird. See, it's weird. So his first term, like I said, I voted for him because he was so fucking smooth, man. And I was young. I think I was like fresh 18. You know, I'm 30 now, so I think I was like, I might have been. I'm not sure. I think it had been when I was like right around 18.
Yep.
And he was smooth. I didn't know who I liked. I didn't follow politics. I just worked. I didn't do shit. And he was so smooth. He was so smooth on the mic. And I was like, this motherfucker.
He was charismatic.
I was like, this dude is good. So I did it. You know, I voted for him. And I don't know, man. It was I don't know. I mean, he didn't really do that great, but I thought, okay, it's his first 4 years. He's got to follow Bush's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
And that really was kind of a tricky
right. I was like, you know, I give the guy a break. But I didn't vote in the second one when he ran against Mitt Romney. I didn't vote.
I voted for Mitt Romney.
Yeah. See, I didn't vote in the second one.
Not necessarily that I liked Mitt.
Yeah,
but I knew who Obama was at that point. And I was like,
but during the second term, I was like, nah, okay, this dude, like, you should be able to do something. And look, I think he did some good. He did do some good, but he did. I mean,
he put stuff looked good. You know, the things he did looked good.
Yeah.
But there was definitely things like the whole Obamacare thing. Like people think that's great, and it's not.
Well, no. So for instance, I own a business, and I've owned a business for a while, and we owned a business when Obama was in office, and we didn't have health care for ourselves. And when we had people that worked for us, they were just contractors. So we didn't have to pay anything. They had to cover all their own expenses. And we did that for a reason. So we didn't have to pay unemployment tax and all this other bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I owe the government money because I didn't have health care. So that's unfair. For number one,
I don't need it. I didn't go to the doctor.
That's what's called extortion. For anybody who doesn't know this, when you tell somebody that they have to pay you for you to have, that's extortion. So I was being extorted out of money every year. And when I say money, like I was getting charged $1,500 a year to not having health care. Well, I didn't need to go to the doctor.
Yeah, no.
So why did I have, and they go, well, and a lot of people say, well, you have to have car insurance. That's different. Let me listen.
That's 100%.
Listen,
I mean,
it's a very different thing to have car insurance. I'm driving my car every fucking day.
In the public.
I'm not going to a hospital every day. There's a big difference. There's a huge difference.
We don't live in China where we have to wear masks. You know what I mean? Where you're probably going to go to the doctor a lot.
It's a huge difference. So that was fucked up, man.
I did not like it at all.
I think it's gone now, right? Though
it's gone.
Trump done.
I mean, they still want to bring back some.
Well, yeah, they want to bring back like a universal health care. A lot of people want universal health care.
This is what I want. I want the pharmaceutical companies. I want to lower their shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just lower it.
I think
shouldn't be forced to have to do anything.
I do think that it should cost less to go to a hospital, but it can't be free.
No,
if it's free, somebody has to pay for it. The problem is if you make it free, so guess what? Our tax is going to go up.
And I'm not for taxes going up, which is why I always go to the right, because they always want to tax. They're like, yeah, we'll just bring it all in a pot.
Well, and it's weird too. It's like the Netherlands. Oh, the Netherlands, like they it's great over there. Get free healthcare. It's not great. The tax. I mean,
it's great. They're barely above starving. You know what I mean?
And the problem is their taxes is outrageous. And the reason that it's so much, like when I say outrageous, I mean 30-40%. And the reason is because everything is free. Somebody has to pay. It's not just free. You don't just get free shit.
Yeah, it's not free. They should not use the word free.
Yeah, somebody is paying for whatever that is. Free college? Oh, that's cool. Somebody's paying for it.
No,
free healthcare? That's cool. Somebody's paying for it. Like, do I think that healthcare is or college again? That's another bullshit thing.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous. You know, Haley, she's got a degree in criminal justice. And she owes like fucking 40 grand, man.
Mm-hmm. Not working in criminal justice.
Yeah, no, she's not.
Because, you know what I mean? Because there's so many people with criminal justice background.
And she didn't do it because she was afraid for her life, that she would die working in criminal justice, because they're just killing cops. Oh,
yeah.
Just gonna,
well, yeah, that was bad too.
I mean, it's obviously let up a little bit, but back when she graduated, they were just murder. They would just walk up to cop cars and shoot somebody. She's like, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah. I'm not gonna like.
I went to the trade, so I mean, I'm all about screw college. You know,
yeah.
I make more money than half the people, almost 80% of the people I went to school with that have degrees.
We ran the recycling company for 5 years. We did super good, and then sold everything off because we don't want to be in it anymore. And then I lived on that for a while. And then I've done web development for a long time. And then I started a CBD company. I didn't graduate high school.
Right.
I mean, I'm graduated because I said, well, I at least get my diploma.
Well, yeah, and it helps with
things. But I would never go to college, depending on what it is. Like if I want to be a doctor or something.
I love learning. If you want to
too.
teach me something, like I'm all about it.
That's what I am too. I'm all like, listen, man, you want to show me how to do something? Yeah, let's fucking.
But let's
do
not
it.
go over something you've been teaching me since the 5th grade.
But the problem is college is bullshit. Mm-hmm. You go to run a CNC, they don't teach you CNC, they teach you out of a book.
They don't even teach you how to be an adult.
It's very
you know what I mean? Like they don't even teach you about taxes or taxes.
No, they don't
anything.
teach you nothing. No, college is, man, there's a real issue with college and healthcare. I don't know, man.
I seen a thing like that. You know, I don't know if you ever heard of the Rothschild family. They're the ones that run the World Bank.
I've heard of
they run the World Bank.
Yeah, I've heard of them. But then there's another one too, isn't there? Like other families. There's like them.
Well, here's the Rockefellers.
Oh yeah,
in America.
Then there's them guys.
But they're definitely tied to the World Bank. But like the Rothschilds, like they actually give money, and they make the authors of the books they teach in school, or they're authors, their books. Like that's weird. That's weird to me that the World Bank is like manipulating the books we teach here in America.
Yeah, they're like Scientologists. That's what they're
crazy
like.
To me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know like a ton about that, but I don't know. Like I'm 30, so I'm not that old. But when I was a kid, man, I just remember you went to work, you came home, you shut the fuck up, and you minded your own business. Like that was literally
simple, man.
It was so simple. You went to work, you got up in the morning. So you got up, put your fucking clothes on, you went to work, made your money, came the fuck home, ate dinner, maybe watched some TV, whatever the fuck you did, watch football, drank a beer, smoked some weed, whatever the fuck you're doing, coke, whatever.
Right.
And then you just went to fucking bed, and you got up the next day and you did it all over again. And then when the weekend came, you partied with your family or you did whatever the fuck you were doing, but you minded your own fucking business. It ain't like that now. Mm-hmm. Everybody's like, oh my God, look at Jim. Mowing his lawn crooked. It's like, man, oh my God. So it's really fucking annoying. I hate it.
I know. I can't say anything. It's like when like Trump says a lot where he says, I should have just said I didn't want the wall. If I would have came out at first and said I don't want a wall, the Democrats would have already built it easily because they already wanted it, and they just go against whatever he wants.
Well, what's crazy is if this dude would have came out and just said he didn't want certain things, everybody would have been like, we fucking like him. We fucking like that guy. But that's just not how it worked. He's like, nah, I'll do it my way.
Well, and he knows, like, some of the stuff I talk about, like the Rothschilds families and, like, the kind of like a global elite type of entity of people. He knows about them. He's in their game. But he doesn't have allegiance to them. He makes more money than most of them. You know what I mean? He gives up his salary. No president's done that. He gives it to a charity every month or whatever he gets paid. He gives it to a different charity.
I mean, like I said, I don't know much about like there's so much shit out there.
It's costing him $3 to $5 billion just to be president because he's not being able to focus on his companies and he's actually doing things to make it harder for his companies overseas. He's bringing his own shit back because he's making it harder. You know
I mean, it's weird. It's weird. The whole situation is weird. You know what I mean? Like it's real weird when you because I'm gonna have someone come on who's more democratic. Haley works with Haley. He's a younger guy, but he's more of in that realm. Because it's interesting listening to the Democrats or when you listen to Republicans, like somebody who loves Trump and somebody who hates him and somebody who agrees with this person. And I'm just like. It's just interesting to hear all these people because there's so many different stuff, and then you're just like, like, you know, like that's why I sit in the middle, because I just
Well,
love
and
the
then
middle.
my problem is this is like everybody's focused on Republican, Democrat, but I'm like focused up here. You know what I mean? Like I'm past the presidency.
Well, yeah, I mean,
And so I'm just going with whoever's helping what I think needs to help.
Yeah.
Happen. Like
Yeah.
above that, because like the banks and stuff, like the Federal Reserve, like that is like our number one.
well, a lot
enemy.
of people don't. A lot of people aren't. They're just like, obviously, it's one side or the other. I just think it's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
I just don't understand.
we used to be the Democratic Republic. That is
We
what we
did.
were.
Yeah.
And we fought against the Federalists,
Yeah.
the ones that wanted to federalize everything. And they lost so much that they realized that if they just dropped back and controlled our money, they could still make policies. And they ended up splitting our party in two. So now we fight over small issues, and they still get to do their big issues. That is exactly what they did.
Well,
It's
we
like-
don't fight, and we just don't fix anything. There's just nothing that gets fixed.
That's what I don't like too. You know that we had the North American Free Trade Agreement, you know, and it was a shit deal. Literally, everyone says it was. You know what I mean? Our country always gets the short fucking stick. You know what I mean? When it
Yeah.
comes to us making deals with other countries,
mean,
we
we
always
help.
give up more.
Yeah, we help. We're
And
always
so
giving up.
He's
so
got a
much.
new agreement. You know what I mean? And Mexico's on board, Canada's on board, all Americans are on board, and Nancy just won't sign it. It's been there for a year. It's been sitting in her desk, but she's busy with the impeachment. And it's
Yeah.
like even the Democrats want the deal, and she still just won't sign it because she wants to get it put in there that when she signs it, starting 2020, that they'll give $0 to Trump's wall, but we will give $250,000 to Syria's defense.
Yeah, I know.
Syria's
it's-
border defense is important, but America's isn't.
Yeah, I think the wall is, like I said, I don't really agree with the wall, but I think it's money that doesn't really. When it comes to immigration, and it comes to the border, I think that we're just really focused on a problem that is really small.
And,
I
honestly, that's
just,
not his biggest issue.
Yeah,
People act like all he's doing is trying to make a wall. It's like,
yeah.
no, that's like his seventh one. He's already got China paying us all kinds of money. He's already increased the amount that every other country pays us. Like that is awesome to
So
me.
you follow this shit.
I do. I follow it big time. Ever since Obama, man, like I got real big with Obama because I wanted to know about him. You know what I mean? And I found out that like his mentor is Henry Kissinger. And Henry Kissinger is super famous for getting a Nobel Peace Prize for the Vietnam War.
You follow
He
this.
got it in 1974, and the war ended in 1977. And the whole reason he got it is because he was neutral. He didn't claim allegiance to either one, so he could talk to both Vietnam, North and South, and America. So he was the guy you talked to when you wanted something to happen. You know what I mean? And then he became Obama's mentor, and Obama was the youngest person to ever become president of the Harvard Law Review. He did it as a sophomore. So his freshman year, I mean, he's Democrat, right? But his freshman year, he doesn't do much. He doesn't speak much, and he becomes friends with both Republican and Democrat people. So then his sophomore year, he starts doing Democrat speeches, but when he's hanging out, his buddies, he's still friends with Republicans, you know what I mean? So it came time to vote for who was going to be the president. They had to pick between two Democrats, and all the Republicans were like, obviously, we're going to go with Obama. So he literally did Kissinger's scheme on another scale, you know what I mean? And then check this out. He became a senator from Chicago, you know? His freshman year in the Senate, no one knew who he was. But his sophomore year, he was doing speeches, everything, and then the next year he became president. Like, you know what I mean? He did the exact same thing, replicated it again that he did in Harvard, and he got it. And I was like, no one else sees this? And then I seen Kissinger doing a thing on Wall Street Money Talks, and he's like, Obama's the perfect person to give America a sort of stake in the New World Order. Like,
Weird.
That's what he said about his, protege.
Listen to you, man.
And I was like, yeah,
Listen.
you ain't fooling me. And this is years ago, you know what I mean? So
Listen
I've
to-
constantly been on it.
Listen to this. What do you watch news, like actual news on TV?
No news
No.
on TV. I just
Yeah.
research, and I like speeches. I like people talking.
Yeah.
Words that come out
Like
of their
I
mouth.
follow like Ben Shapiro. He's pretty good. Ben Shapiro's pretty good. And then I can't remember her name. Shit. I can't remember her fucking name. But she's I mean they lean a little bit sure to the Republican side, but yeah. That's you got some some shit. Like I said, I don't
That's
follow.
the thing. They call me dumb. They comment on my stuff like, you don't know what you're talking about. And it's like, actually, I fucking do.
Well, it's hard. That's what people say that shit to me when I talk about guns. They go, yeah, but you're not. The knowledge isn't there. Or something. It's like, look, man. It's if you just like real statistics, like real actual statistics, not what you see on CNN, not what you see on Fox.
Right, and
like
that's what I
real,
like.
real statistics, shit, like real shit. But they don't. They don't. And a lot of Republicans and Democrats,
Yeah, they both do.
Most of the time, don't
sure.
look at the real, legit, actual statistics that are being written. Like they're not. They're just fucking winging it. They're not actually looking at it. Now, like Ben Shapiro's pretty good. Like he's pretty fucking. Candace Owens, that's the other one.
Oh, yeah,
she's good. Like she's very smart. She's a very smart person. But most of these people, they don't know they're just fucking talking. Like they're saying shit, and you're sitting there and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You're
Like
right,
that's
you're gone, dude. You're out there.
like that's not even true. Like that literally didn't even happen, you know?
Right, saying stuff that's just
Yeah.
false.
Like I don't know a ton about history, but it's like it's the same with you know, when you go in you talk about slavery and stuff, and I don't know a ton about it, but there's a lot more to it than just African American. Like there's there's a lot more history to that. You know what I mean? Not saying that, you know, look, slavery was fucked up. Like it never should have happened. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But I just feel like there's like a lot more to it than
Dude,
you know.
if you check something else too that I was like a little bit looking into was the fact that like, okay, so before slavery, think about if we're trying to do an election, you know what I mean? We got this group of white people who are gonna go with whatever they want. Well, if we free these slaves, we just gained like 500 extra thousand votes, you know what I mean, or 1 million votes.
Yeah.
So now there's more votes, you know what I mean. And if you can get them to be on your side, you just won the presidency. And then when women got their rights in 1920, in my mind, it was solely for more votes. They wanted the women to be able to vote.
Yeah. Okay.
And that is why they did it. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's more to it than just helping people. They always have an ulterior motive.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, that's why I'm just like, when it comes to government, I'm like, I need less of you. I just need less.
And that is why I can't go Democrat, because they want big government.
I just need less of you government in my life. I'm not talking about like no police or nothing like that. Like
That's
you know,
state.
I'm talking like, you know, just less. Just give me less of this federal fucking bullshit. Because like I run a business, and they're in my shit.
Yeah, they want it.
Like they're fucking in my shit. Let me listen. If I'm one day past, if I gotta pay my I'm one fucking day. Oh my, they're crawling so far up my ass. They're fucking yanking on my esophagus. Like
you're starving their families.
Yeah, like it's for real. Like less government. I'm all about less. I'm not talking about like statewide. I think states, you know,
you have to have.
And I'm cool with contributing to the state I live in.
And I like the
totally
fact
cool.
that like your states just can't do whatever the fuck they want. You know what I mean? Like that's the only part I think that the federal government is good for, is like just to regulate the states.
Right, but
not to regulate us.
Right, but the problem is they do regulate us. There's a problem with it, and a lot of people are like, well, without the government. And I'm like, without the government,
what?
I mean, I feel. Listen,
what
they take when you think about it, they take 20% federal tax. I mean, that's like a pretty minimum is a 20% federal tax. Okay. The middle class is what makes America, and the small businesses. So big businesses don't contribute really.
No, they don't.
So if
not
you,
the good ones.
Generally, the way I look at it is like businesses that have anywhere from, let's just say, 5 employees to 100 is pretty, in my opinion. Yeah, maybe 5 to 50. 100 might start going a little bit bigger, but 5 to 50 employees, that's considered a small business. You could consider 100 employees maybe small, depending on what your classification of a small business is. But those are the ones that make America. Those are the ones that make, you know, the contributions. But they don't get any benefits. So there's no benefits. In the middle class, you're talking 20%. So let's just say a mom or a single father or whoever is going to work making $12 an hour, and they're 20%. 20% is gone right off the top. That's gone. 20% of that's gone to your. That's just federal.
And they think that like if Democrats get power and then they tax everybody more, they think that the tax is going to go just to the rich people. And it's like, no, they're not even going to feel it or pay it.
Yeah,
we're the ones that feel it.
And this is, and I talked to Sam about this, is, you know, when he talked about Andrew Yang, he talked about the value added tax. The value added tax was a way for businesses to not get out of federal tax. So, and I'll be honest, I own a business, and I know a lot of ways to not pay my federal taxes, okay, without getting in trouble, or to pay a 2% or 3%, you know, when I should be paying more than that.
Right.
There's a lot of ways around it.
Well,
So
that is the only problem is those loopholes.
right. And so in Andrew Yang, and I will admit I didn't look it up, but when he was talking to me, when Sam was talking to me and telling me that the value added tax was, he wants to put it in place so that companies like Amazon, who haven't paid taxes in 3, 4, 5 years, okay, and making $50 billion a year, they're going to have to pay their taxes. Like, it's going to be paid by this value added. But there's a lot more to it than just, I mean, you know, it's hard to say.
Yeah, it sounds great when you're doing it, when you're
Well,
talking about Amazon.
It does,
or
and it
GE,
sounds good
when you're talking about them specifically.
Right. But then you talk about me,
Yeah,
who
it's like,
I'm not making $1 million.
How can you afford another tax?
Exactly. So, but when you talk about just an average person, that's just crazy. I mean, 20%, that's just federal. You still have Social Security, and then you got your health care, which is nuts.
And they just don't see that the fact that it's just they're not gonna care that they have to pay taxes, whatever this added value tax is. They're not gonna really care about it too much, but it's gonna wipe other businesses right out. Now that company's gonna own the market.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So if they add that, let's just say they add the value added tax, and then you have Amazon. So say Amazon, they can't get out of paying federal tax anymore. Well, they're not paying federal tax, but they're paying the value added, which is kind of taking place of the federal tax that they're not paying. I don't know. Say they pay, fucking $1 billion in value added tax. What happens is they pay $1 billion, but we lose 20 small businesses.
Right.
So it's really
so when you add up those 20 businesses,
right.
you're breaking even. But now that company
or losing
owns the market.
Yeah, or losing.
And that's only $1 billion that's paid in taxes that comes here. It doesn't actually go to like the communities.
Yeah.
We're like, you guys spend money here.
Right. Yes, we spend. So and it's what's crazy is, so what happens is they're going to pay the $1 billion value added tax. Now what happens is you lose 20 small businesses. Let's say the city you live in, you know, there's not these small business anymore. There's not. So now you take all that money. You say, well, now we're going to give it to people. We're just going to give you $1,000 a month because, well, we want you to spend more money in your community. Well, if you don't have the businesses to spend the money at, I mean, so it's kind of it is a little bit of a vicious cycle. And what's hard is a lot of times when you talk to people, and Sam was super smart, very intelligent, and very open. I mean, he's an open guy. But when you talk to most people about things like that, they're very defensive. They don't really understand it. And so I own a business. I don't have tons of employees, but I own a business. I understand what it will do to me if I have to pay another tax. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I pay my federal tax.
Well, taxing's not the answer.
You know,
let's just tax them.
Well,
what the fuck?
But you know, that's what it is. Every time, that's what it is. Well, we'll just raise taxes.
It's like when Obama was president, that nuclear reactor exploded in Japan,
leaked
in the Pacific Ocean, and so our radiation levels in California increased.
I remember that. It was a big thing.
This is what they did. They took the safe level of radiation and just bumped it up a little bit because we're good now.
Right. So it is. Yeah. Yeah. It's
no radiation's good. What do you mean?
Yeah.
8%'s okay. No.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I feel. Yeah. They all sat down. They said, listen, here's the deal. We can't fix it. We don't have an issue fix. So this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah. The scientists said it's safe.
Right. Let's just fucking raise it. Let's just say
they did it with the debt ceiling too.
Right. But that's what
just raise it up a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. They're just like, listen, let's just raise it to 8%. Okay. Because we'll just say that's safe. That's cool. 8%'s cool. Yeah. Even though it's not fucking cool. No, okay. It's you can't
radiation.
Right. And people in California, they're like, well, it's fine now.
What do you mean? He said it's cool? Oh,
yeah, it's like cool. Everything's fine now. Oh, it's 8%. We can totally do it, which is probably more than 8% now, you know, over the years.
But it's like, that's not a fix, man. That's like just like a pharmaceutical company. Here, take this Oxy for your back pain. No, fix this goddamn back.
Yeah.
It's simple. You know what I mean? That's
it's crazy. It's crazy. That's another thing, too. You go to the hospital and you say, look, you say, I got a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of panic, some depression. They go, here's an antidepressant, Lexapro or
whatever the mainstream
Zoloft or whatever. And so if you look at like antidepressants are so they're just as bad as like an Oxycontin, if not maybe even a little bit worse. They're extremely hard to come off of. Mm-hmm. Really hard. You get super addictive.
I've never been on them, so I don't know.
When they fuck with you, they fuck with your mental status. They don't fix anything. They just put blockers in your brain, but you don't you're
just basically not feeling it, like zombied almost.
Yeah, man. You're like you're on this fucking trip, dude. You're just on a train, And it just doesn't stop. It's like just fucking.
Is it a dull train, a good train?
No, it's just there's just nothing. There's no music on the train.
It's like an old boring train, no people, the same colors everywhere.
Right. There's no music, there's no people. It's you sitting in a seat and you're just in a fucking tunnel and it's just a brick wall on both sides and all the bricks are going and that's it. That's just all it is the whole fucking time. You know? So cuz I was on Lexapro for a while. I did Zoloft. I don't take none of that shit no more though. I got off that shit, but then I go and then they go, well, we'll give you Klonopin. I said, fucking I'm good. You know, I don't need none of that.
Like a pill's gonna fix you.
So I just do natural shit. Like I work out every day and releasing all the endorphins and super good, awesome shit. But that's like that type of shit. Like, Band-Aid
mentality.
Like, well,
let's put a Band-Aid in it.
They go, look, well, we don't know how to fix it, so this is what we'll do.
Yeah,
let's just create a pill. Right. And then it'll just fucking.
Well, now you don't feel that pain in your arm.
Right, you don't feel it no
still
more.
There, though.
Right, and that's what they do. That's what they do with a lot of shit, though.
Their policies, they do the same thing. It's like we don't know what to do, so let's just do this.
And that's why like America's great, but it's not at the same time.
Well, that's kind of another reason why I support Trump. Is like he plays like this. Listen, I'm the president of America, not the world. I care about Americans first.
Well, and that's a big thing. Like I get it. I get where people come from. Like, look, there's other people in other countries, and I understand that, and I get it. But we have so many problems. And when I say issues, I mean like
real issues.
I'm not talking about the border. I'm not talking about the border. I'm not talking about fucking Mexicans or I'm not talking about any of that shit. I'm not talking about
gay or trans or whatever.
Right. You want to be a man, I guess go be a fucking man, be a woman. You want to be gay, fine. I don't give a fuck. Be gay. I don't really give a shit.
Those are tiny things.
I'm talking about homelessness, the veterans. I'm talking about the fucking impoverished areas in our country where we can
medications.
Where we literally, like if you go to Milwaukee and you go into the bad area, we don't give a fuck.
No, cops don't even patrol. No. They hear a call.
Right. We don't give a fuck about that area. And that's fucked up. All those kids, you know, and even gang members. Like, I don't condone anything they do, but some of those motherfuckers grew up like that. Mm-hmm. They didn't have a choice. Nobody helped them.
Right. And then we blame them for how society made them.
Right. Everybody goes, well, they had a choice. I get it. Everyone has a choice with right and wrong. But did you grow up with your dad?
And they know it's wrong. You know what I mean?
Well, they do. They get it. But when you're in an area like that,
that's what you do.
It's almost like you can't get out. You can't. How are you supposed to get out? Like,
well, you were talking with your buddy, and he was talking about the 150 people thing, where like form kind of, and that's kind of what that is. I mean,
I've heard about that.
Not necessarily have their own religion, but like they all have the same goal and morals and mentality that they are going to stick together, and like that is how they're going to be.
Yeah, I've heard. I mean? I've read about that. Very little. I've read about it. Like seen some articles, but I haven't like read in depth with it. But it's interesting. It's so interesting. I don't know. I'm just more about. Where we live, there's not necessarily a impoverished. Like a real impoverished area.
Not really. And honestly, like, props to like our city for doing stuff.
I mean, we really don't have a super impoverished area. I think there's a lot of homeless that we just don't see. They're not like in the public
and like
eye.
That one guy, like he just wanted to be homeless. Like the guy was
the guy down by
like,
Monterey Bridge.
Yeah, he just wanted to be there.
Yeah, I think he had some mental problems too. He was like definitely like there was something going on, but I don't know. We just don't focus on that shit. Like we look at Chicago and the only thing we put on the news is they put on the news, 25 people died over Memorial Weekend, shot. But what they don't put is they don't put 3 kids can't go to school anymore because the school got shut down, or 500 kids they can't get accepted to the other schools because they're more money, can't afford to go there.
That's just a whole nother generation. They're gonna be the same.
So now what happens is the kids are at home, they're trying to get homeschooled, but the mom can't afford it, so now I don't go to school. They're in like
she probably didn't even get to finish school herself. You know what I mean?
Right, because the father. And I'm not talking about just African Americans. I'm talking about
it goes for everyone.
Whites, blacks,
sure.
purple, whatever color you are, whatever ethnicity you are, like it goes for all of them. But that's what it is. Like there's a fucking problem. But we don't do that. They just report on the bullshit. They report on all the crime, but they don't ever report like
the media is it's just complete bogus.
And the only people doing anything are the people that don't really have the means to do it. Like, I'll be honest, like Flint, Michigan, that's fucked up. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. I don't give a fuck. President Trump, I don't care who you are. Like, you're telling me that we can't get water?
Yeah, that's
annoying. There's no way in fucking, like, we can't get water there? Like, that's fucked
up. And, I personally honestly believe that, like, if their representatives actually came to Trump one-on-one and told him like, hey, let's do something, I just feel it that he would do it. He would do something.
I mean, maybe I don't know, but I just know nothing.
But if those representatives don't come to him, you know what I mean? He's got a million things trying to take care of, you know what I mean? But like with Florida and their medical prices and their pharmacy, they went to him and said, hey, Canada already said they'll give it to us half the price, and he said, you know what, do it.
Yeah, it's
like he's like trying to put America first, and that's what we should all do. Let's fix our country, man. We're like before Trump took office, we were like down in the 20s on every category. America ranked 20 in everything. Like how does that happen? We're supposed to be the greatest superpower.
We're so worried. We're just so worried about everybody else. We're so worried, and it's even like it's so. Not only as a country, we're just everybody's so like. So I never look at somebody else and go, I want what they have. I never look at it in a way like, oh, fuck them because they got money, or fuck them because they got a nice car. Yeah, like I look at them and go, okay, so I want the house that they got. All right. And then I set a plan up. Like, this is what I think I got to do to get it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I think I got to do this, you know, like I'm going to buy a Tesla, but it's about 110,000. So I'm trying to work towards that. You know, I don't just have 110 grand, and you can't. They're not like really sold. They're not like sold at car lots and shit. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta order one. Yeah, you gotta like order it and shit. So, but it's like, if you just walk and just look at people, everybody's so worried about everybody else.
What they think of them,
dude. Yeah, everybody's just like, you know, everybody's like fucking looking around, looking at fucking neighbors and shit. You know, and that's how America is. So America, like families are just like, oh, I got, you know, their kids. They, you know, give their kids cell phones at a really young age. And, like, that's okay. I get it. Like, if the kid wants to watch a cartoon for, like, an hour. But these motherfucking kids just have their own phones and their own tablets. And it's become this thing. And it fucks shit up.
Oh, yeah, dude. My kids are on it all the time. And I literally have to be like, all right, you know, you've had an hour. Whatever.
Right. Like, yeah, you got to, like, give them a time limit.
You have to regulate it and
you know,
make them do stuff.
Like, and I get it. You know, I don't have a kid. You know, we don't have kids yet, so I get it. It's like it's easy. It's like you're
distract them.
You're like, dude, I can give it to him, and I'm free for 2 hours.
Yeah,
you know, but there's consequences that come with it, and I feel like that's what America does. America's like, well, we just need to focus on all this other stuff, right? But at what point do you say, okay, you know what, maybe we should focus on this shit in the country? I don't know the last time I heard that they were like, okay, this is what we're gonna do for the veterans. I don't.
Besides Trump's bill, they just put through
like which I didn't see. Like I didn't, you know what I mean? Yeah. I didn't hear about it, so it
just like made it easier for them to get their medical care.
It's just crazy. It's crazy. I don't know. The last time I heard anything about someone helping in like impoverished areas was all people who didn't have money from the impoverished area.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know, some woman who is sings in the church choir. You know, giving out hundreds of dollars a week, even though she don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't hear shit.
I seen a stat like when I first started getting into this stuff. There was like 12 people die a year from terrorism, and we spend $50 billion on terrorism. 500,000 people die a year from heart disease. We spend 50 grand.
Yeah, we don't spend shit. We don't spend nothing.
Like, think about that. 12 people dying, 500,000 people dying. Like, let's fucking switch this.
It's the same thing. Like in 2019. Nobody knows why Americans get headaches. They literally can't figure out why you get a headache. They go, well, we don't know. How the fuck do you not know?
Right.
How do you not know after all these fucking years why somebody gets a fucking headache and how to relieve that headache without taking...
It was not a priority to figure out how to fix it.
Without taking ibuprofen or Tylenol or Aleve or whatever it is, because that all fucks you up. You can't take a lot of it. Aleve can kill you. You can overdose on Aleve.
Oh, yeah. It's all poison. You shouldn't take any pills.
Aleve goes right to... Tylenol. Tylenol goes to your liver, and ibuprofen kills your stomach. Like, how the fuck do we not know this? Like, if somebody comes in and says, look, I have anxiety. They go, oh, okay. They don't know why. Like, how the fuck do you not know? Like, what? Like,
it's just not profitable to figure out why.
It's not. And it's not. And
but it comes down to it. Right. It's all about money. And
it is.
They can't make money on fixing you.
It's crazy.
So much more money in keeping you the way you are.
There's a lot of issues. And there's a lot of problems. But
that someone came out and said they can cure AIDS. Easy.
Yeah, I saw something. There was I don't know if it was an article, but I did see something where it was like there was well, I mean, they would never release that. Why would you release that? There's there's no money. I mean, chemo kills you. What the fuck? I mean, why release a cure when they're listen, chemo fucks you up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not saying, like, sure, maybe it's helped some people, maybe it has, but that shit burns you, dude. It just eats your insides. That's all the fuck it
kills
does.
you if you don't. Yeah,
There's
like,
there's
it killed the cancer, but you're gonna die.
right, and there's so many people that they had cancer and then they smoke cannabis.
Mm-hmm. Cannabis is great.
I mean, Tommy Chong, he had like throat cancer or colon or something like that, and he smoked CBD. He didn't smoke as much THC. He did more CBD.
Right.
But it fucking put him into remission.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude,
It's amazing.
listen, man, the fucking Native Americans, like, they lived. I mean, you know, they lived the best life they could live.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but those motherfuckers lived on plants, man.
Oh yeah.
Like, if they needed something, they were like, here, let's just fucking
not only
stir
that,
this
for
shit
like
up.
the first 100 years that America was America. I mean,
Yeah.
at one point hemp was the third largest crop in
Yeah.
America. We were exporting it like crazy. We were making so much money off of it. Everything was made of hemp.
Dude, people don't
Everything.
realize how
Paper,
strong it
soles,
is.
rubber, rope,
Yeah.
clothes,
Yeah.
everything can be made out of it. It was our third largest crop. Like that's
It's
crazy.
so strong. It's so hemp is so strong. People don't realize how strong it is. Like how strong hemp is crazy strong. But yeah, they don't. I mean, now it's federally I mean, the 2018 Farm Bill helped, but they're still skewed. I mean, there's still vague stuff that happens. I mean, you know, you can't get a bank account, you know. I mean, I own a holdings company. So my holdings corporation owns a nutraceutical company, owns a so I own more than one business, whatever, but it's all through a holdings corporation and then my CBD company is a nutraceutical business, which is like a vitamin company.
Just because you can't have no federal.
Yeah, because if the banks find out that I sell CBD, they would close my bank account. So and then like my credit cards, you know, when I first started, I started when it was like illegal. Like I've been in it for like a year and a half now. So I started when it was like really hard. And I processed credit cards for a little while, and then they sent me an email like, we're shutting you down, dude. Can't process cards for you. And luckily they didn't hold my money because they were holding companies' money. They didn't hold my money, but I went through I don't know how many credit card processors.
Really?
Oh yeah, some of them the way it worked is like it would get processed overseas and then it get transferred back to the US and it was a hassle.
That's crazy.
Like sometimes like I couldn't take like I don't really accept like Amex, like American Express or anything like that. Like it's Visa and MasterCard. But I don't know how many I went through before, and right now I have a high risk. So, you know, I had to like have good credit and like I had to go through all these steps just to be able to process a credit card on my website, and I get charged more than a normal because it's all high risk shit. It's stupid. It's all stupid. And it's like
eventually we won't have that paper stuff. It'll all be like that.
Yeah, like it doesn't even do anything. Like it's fucking, you can literally like it doesn't do anything. Hemp is like real hemp.
Yeah.
CBD is just cannabis. People classify it as hemp, but it's not.
They don't know.
It's not hemp.
Knowledge.
But actual hemp is fucking crazy. But we don't.
It used to be a big thing.
We don't acknowledge it as much now.
Thomas Jefferson's got like a famous quote saying like, one of my most memorable times is sitting back on the veranda and smoking hemp, looking out as far as my eyes
What was
can
he?
see.
Was he a Republican or Democrat?
I actually don't. I think Democratic Republic.
Oh yeah, okay.
He was actually like one of the founding fathers of that party. Like he was, you know, in
God, what year was
Declaration
that?
and stuff.
That's some old shit, man.
Yeah, it's super old, but like, you know, I like to.
Could you imagine living?
I love
back,
history.
Imagine living back in that day.
That's where I want to be.
You want to be back in that day?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know,
Listen,
dude. I mean,
you're hungry, you go kill something and eat it. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'm cool. Like I'm with that.
It was like this. Like we should not have to. Americans shouldn't have to work 40 hours. You know what I mean? Like if you want.
Oh, I can agree. I agree with that.
A flat screen TV or a brand new computer, you should have to work and earn that.
Yeah.
But if you want a home and to some place to live,
yeah,
you shouldn't have to work for that. You know what I mean? Like you should just have. You should buy your land, buy your thing,
and build it.
Property tax is one thing because I do feel like I like that people help their communities.
Yeah, but they get the land and they just build the house.
Yeah, you don't have to go to wives could sit in the house all day and they didn't need to do anything because they weren't living outside their means. They didn't need to buy anything.
Yeah, I know, but I mean? But there's like the technology.
I love technology. I mean,
see, that's
cool.
that's the problem. Like, technology, man. I don't know if I could. I mean, I'm pretty good about like we don't in our house. I mean, Haley works a lot, And we don't really watch a lot of TV. Like our TV doesn't get turned on sometimes like 10 o'clock at night. Like we don't watch shit for TV. We don't have cable for number one.
TV shows and
you have cable?
No, like Netflix and stuff.
Oh yeah, like we have like, so we have Amazon Prime, we have Hulu, and then we have Hulu Live, so we can watch football, just for the football season. Then we'll get rid of it. We have Disney Plus because I dig Disney movies.
Yeah, dude, for real.
I mean, well, you got girls, so
they love
it. For you,
even though it's all old to them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't. It's funny. Like I was like talking about like Even Stevens. Like, what's that? I'm like, oh man, you guys are.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Just to
the new generation's pretty wild.
Well, dude, I remember when I first got into this stuff, I seen a stat that said like the average vocabulary for a person in 10th grade, a sophomore in high school, when 10 years before I looked at it, was like 65,000 words.
Yeah.
And then at that time when I looked at it, the average vocabulary of a sophomore was like 12,000 words. Like they took out like 50,000 words of vocabulary.
Dude, it's nuts. Haley works with a girl who she doesn't know how to write in cursive.
Yeah, my daughter thinks I'm like a magician.
Yeah,
that doesn't say anything.
like Haley, because Haley writes mainly in cursive. You know what I mean? And I do not as much. Like I don't write in cursive as much. Just really when I'm using my signature. But Haley, most of her writing is in cursive. Like that's just her first
doctor in her.
And she's like fucking. Her handwriting is it's like flawless, right? Mine's like fucking garbage.
She's like a Greek.
Yeah,
Greek
right.
guy.
Like when I write it, it's like fucking. Everybody's like, "What does it even say?" And I'm like, "Well, you just got to look at it real hard, and you'll be able to visualize what I'm saying." But the girl, people at her work, like they don't know how to do it. They don't know how. I'm like, what? They took it out of school. They don't teach it anymore.
Yeah, and like not only that, like sometimes like with just like math alone, like my daughter brings stuff, I have to like teach myself a new way to do math because they're teaching different ways.
Yeah.
It's weird because they don't teach all the ways. They're just teaching a new way. You know what I mean?
Right. So it's not,
And I try to tell my daughter, I'm like, okay, I have to learn it. And then I teach her what the teacher's teaching her. And I say, this is what your teacher wants you to learn. And she makes sure she gets that. And then I'm like, there's also other ways to get these same answers.
Yeah. I think, like when I was in school, you had like plus, minus, division, the geometry, whatever, all that shit. Which I just use my calculator for everything. I'm not gonna lie.
I was always super good in math. I still
I was terrible at math, so I was good in like I liked like science and shit. Like I was always obsessed with like space and shit. It's always like interesting.
I love space too. Yeah.
So like I was always into like the whole like universe, planets, like I loved
like
that
physical
shit.
Science stuff.
Yeah, but I didn't like history. Like, well, not that I didn't like history. But for some reason, it was hard for me to follow.
The teachers aren't very good.
No,
they don't make it exciting.
No, they weren't good. They were just like, yeah. And then he came over on a boat, and I'm like, oh, that's cool,
They get like the most boring people to teach history, and like they don't even know history. They're just reading to you.
And the hard thing is history. It's not boring, but if you have somebody who is boring talking about it, it's boring.
Oh yeah.
Now science it's even if it's someone boring talking about it, it's still so interesting because you have this space. And it's endless. It's just this endless area.
Yeah,
it's and I talked about on the last podcast how I said what I think, like how I think, when it comes to deja vu, and like when I tell people, they look at me like, well, that's fucking weird, but that there's hundreds of me's, and they're on other Earths. And they're doing the same thing I'm doing in my life right now, but at different moments. So maybe one's behind me, maybe one's in front of me. So that's why I feel you get deja vu, because there's another me who's already experienced that part of
it is a weird feeling.
It is.
And I always get it, and I'm like super big on like guessing what's gonna happen next. Kind of thing.
And it's crazy because you get it, and you're like, no, like this is fun.
Like, dude, oh my god.
Like today, so I got these chairs today, and I'm putting them together, and I'm like, whoa, I feel like I've done this shit before. Like this has happened, and it fucking creeps me out, man.
Yeah,
it's fucking nuts because it feels real.
Oh yeah.
And then I start getting a little anxiety.
I know what's gonna happen.
Like I get a little anxiety because I'm like, whoa. Like I know, like I'm gonna get these together, and they're gonna go, and like I know what's gonna happen,
right.
And I just think it's because there's another me. Like, dude, if there is a God, okay, this motherfucker didn't just create one Earth. There's no way that this dude said, listen, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to create one Earth and just these humans. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just no way. if there is a God. The whole the God thing's pretty questionable.
Yeah,
Just,
I'm spiritual. I'm a spiritual person. I like to be like,
obviously most of the family is pretty
religious.
I think they look
older family.
Well, and a lot of part is everybody goes, well, the Bible is written by a man.
Exactly. And that's like my whole problem with it is because like I think Jesus was a great guy, but I think he was a guy.
Yeah, I don't
think he was like a fucking being.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean, he was a man.
Yeah.
He just lived.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Right.
Like,
He
was a righteous person.
And then people go, oh, that guy's that thing. That's a cult. Okay. If you look at Christianity, if you look at it, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to follow the Lord, and then you're supposed to go out and preach his word to who you see, to everybody. Okay. But you follow him. And the thing is, if you don't follow him, that's a sin. Okay. So there's repercussion to that. It's called a cult. That's what happens in a cult.
Right.
If you don't follow the leader and do what the leader says, you get in trouble. That's what a cult is.
A cult actually has a physical leader, like he's standing there, so they can be like they can blame him.
Right. I don't know, man. I'm not. Everybody's like, well, yeah, but this and that. I'm like, dude, the Bible's fucking. I could write the fucking. I could write.
Listen, we grew up in there. You said it in the thing.
Yeah, like we did. I grew up. We went to church.
Trophies. I have a trophy this big from church.
Man. Yeah, went to church, and if you read the Bible's contradicting, man. You had Adam and Eve. Okay, they had sex with each other. That's incest. That's a sin. Okay, it's a sin in the Bible, but yet. They did it, and then their kids had sex with each other. And
it's. I mean, I guess if God did create them, it probably wouldn't be technically brother and sister if you create something.
If
you're not born from the same.
Yeah, but if you read the Bible, technically,
they do say that.
Well, technically, we're all brother and sister. Yeah. So technically, you're not my cousin. Haley's not my wife. She's my sister. And when we go to heaven, we don't know each other as cousins or wife or mother. We're just brothers and sisters in heaven. Like that's what's preached. But listen, if you can show me where Jesus actually wrote the Bible, which is not going to be in English.
No, well, he didn't actually write it. It was all the people that followed him.
Right, and it's not, they wouldn't be writing in English anyway.
They claim that the words came from God. Like, you know what I mean? Jesus never actually wrote any part of the Bible.
It's just, it just killed, because there's like God and then there's Jesus, and it's like, listen.
But they're the same.
Right, but it's like this.
It's because the church they have to portray Jesus as a being of a God. If he was a man, then their whole book would be nothing.
I believe that there's maybe like a higher power. There's something, maybe not a God or a Jesus, but there's.
Yeah, like the dude was talking about like he was putting like electrons, but like a spiritual connection. Yeah, you know what I mean, like a spiritualness.
Yeah, and that's like Haley. So Haley, I'm saved. Grandma saved me.
Yeah, I'm saved too.
Yeah, Grandma
I'm baptized.
Saved. Yeah, I'm baptized. I'm saved. Grandma saved me at her kitchen table on Avalon. Put the hand on the Bible and led me to the Lord and all this stuff. And I tell Haley about it. When you're saved, that's your whole purpose in life is to save other people. Like you should be out preaching the word and saving other people.
We can all go to heaven.
Right. And then if you sin, like being gay. So if you're gay, that's a sin. So I don't have an issue with being gay. I think if you like men, I think that you should just be with the man. I don't think you should fucking hide.
Yeah.
And I don't think you should be shamed for it because it's just fucked up. Listen, if you like a man, just do your thing.
It's like they act like it just happened. Like people are gay forever.
Right. And that's the thing. Like so you're telling me that if God created Adam and Eve, that there was literally they only had sex with the women and the women only had sex with the man? Come on. Bullshit. You're telling me that nobody experimented.
Well, and these people are like on a knowledge scale, they're nothing, like they're zeros. They don't know anything. Well, exactly. How would they know
that's
you can't have
sex?
And
that's what I'm saying.
Society's not there to tell you it's wrong.
Right. Nobody's there to tell you that it's wrong. So listen, they're going to experiment. Like it is what it is.
For sure.
So that's why I had so many questions, and I always was talking to Aunt Diane, my mom, I was talking to her. I was like, man, I don't know. I just don't know about all this, because I went through a hard time in my life where I was depressed and shit. And I still suffer from depression, but it was just real tough, man. I lost a bunch of weight, super bad. And I would pray. And then I just started thinking, I was like, what the fuck am I praying to?
It does make you feel good.
It does. Like it makes you
things off. It's a form of
it makes you feel good to pray, but then I'm
coping.
who am I talking to? Like really honestly, who am I
yourself?
Yeah, who am I talking? And then it's like you pray, and I'm not talking about the people who just pray when they need something. I'm talking about like I prayed. I just prayed every day, and it was like I would thank him, like thank you for the food, thank you for this. Never prayed like, oh, I'm depressed, please help me. And then eventually I was like, okay, like I need help, just please, help me, and nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I think stuff happens in mysterious ways. I was in a car accident when I was 16, and it was real bad. I probably should have died, but I didn't die. And there's like some weird stuff that happened during that accident. Like I talked to some woman, but she was never there. I remember being out of the car and like telling her my information, but then when I got there, I was knocked out. I was never out of the vehicle.
Right.
So, and nobody knew who she was. Like, listen, there was no woman here ever. So like, there's weird stuff like that's real weird in my life. But I don't know. The whole God thing. And look, if you believe in God, great. If you're a Christian, great.
I don't.
But I think for me, I think there's just too many unanswered questions.
If there is, he definitely has given up a long time ago, because you don't just sit here and let people live in poverty. And so you created this,
right? And this is my thing. So like my sister was, she was at my parents one night, and they were help fixing their car, and God came up, and I said, I don't know. I don't know about that. I said, you got this man who he can take away sickness. He can take away bad shit.
Right.
I said, it's weird to me how you can have somebody who raped children, goes to prison for 5 years, gets out, makes millions of dollars, lives a beautiful life.
Raping.
Right. Lives a beautiful life. Doesn't believe in God though. Not saved, doesn't believe in God, lives a beautiful life. And then you have the people who, like grandma,
people that a church in Beloit, you know what I mean? A rundown church in Beloit.
Grandma, a beautiful woman. Oh my God, the most beautiful woman on earth. Just the most loving person.
Right.
I mean, she didn't give a fuck who you were. Just loved you.
Right, just amazing.
And
person.
yet puts her through all this shit. And she was a God-fearing woman. They say loved God.
He does that to strengthen you.
Right, he does it. And then you. So for me, it's hard for me because if you look at all the people who love God, they're all like not well.
Yeah, unless you're running the church and you got the money.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you look at all the people who they're like, well, there's something, but I don't believe in God. These people are flourishing in life.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're bad people or good people, they're still flourishing in life. So it's real hard for me because when I think about people who love God, believe in God, and they're not.
And then you look around the world, dude. There's gods everywhere. So many gods.
You're
going to tell me that you're right and they're wrong.
Yeah.
And they're right and you're wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that, it can't be that way. Like
that's how it is. It's like that.
You know
but
what I mean?
It shouldn't be, but it is.
If there is such thing as God, there can only be one of them.
Well, and then you do. If you go back in time, like way back in time, there was gods. There was gods.
Yeah, you know what gets creepy is I did a lot of research on that, and it's like it talks about reptilian gods, and they're supposedly like, I don't know if you ever heard of the planet Nibiru. It's a planet that takes a super long orbit around our sun. Like our planets go like this.
Right.
This one goes like this.
Okay.
Long,
Okay.
So
yeah.
it only comes by like hundreds of years
Yeah.
type stuff. And no matter where you go on this continent, every ancient civilization talks about a reptilian like god.
Okay.
Or gods
Yeah.
mating with their women. Every single one, like it's the dragon in China, it's a snake in America.
Yeah, okay,
the
okay.
Indians, you know what I mean? The Mayans had their.
That's probably why
It's all like a reptilian lizard like thing.
Yeah.
And like just that alone, like with the whole alien type stuff, like to me that's super. I can picture it. This planet comes by, once they're within range, they can hop down and hop back up.
Yeah.
And then you don't see them again type stuff.
Well.
Or some of them stayed here.
Well, if you think about it. If you just think about it, like we built the pyramids, but we built the pyramids in a time where we didn't have, and everybody goes, well, they used rope. They used rope and men, and they just
really
pulled them up.
Rope.
I was like, dude, these blocks were like 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, they were tons and
like,
tons.
I at one time, it's funny. At one time, I looked at Haley. I'm like, they were like 100,000 pounds, and she goes, honey, they were like 1,000 pounds or 1,500 pounds. I'm like, whatever, you know what I was saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were like 50, and you're telling me that, well, they just use rope. But come on, they didn't just use rope.
Yeah, right.
They didn't just use rope.
No, and then I heard something too, like the tip of the pyramids. Like there's 3 pyramids.
Yeah.
And the tip of them is made of like a special element type stuff. Well, one of them has been replaced, and it's not the same as the tips of the other 2. Like,
it's weird.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I think just the whole God. It's very weird. It's a very weird thing to think about, and I feel like a lot of people don't believe in God, but then they go to God when they need something in life or something's going bad. I don't know. I think for me, it's like there's maybe something. I don't know if it's God, what it is, but there's something. Obviously, we're here, so there is something. But I just believe there's so much more, man. There's other planets. There's other me's. There has to be. How can you have deja vu? Like, if anybody can actually,
I can't.
right? Like, if somebody can actually answer me with a science,
it's creepy. It's
right,
eerie.
yeah, with a scientific answer of why we have deja vu, other than there's another me on another fucking Earth who's already done it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
because
how?
it's the same. Like, everything, the details of the room are the same.
It's identical. It's literally the same thing. It's nothing, and it's like we're all. So if there's another you, you're connected, like electrically. You know what I mean? Like biology, your atoms are still connected because it is you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not a whole new human being. It's your attitude, your life,
like
your
you're just
eyes.
getting a little glimpse of an alternate
Right.
reality.
It's almost, it sounds weird, but it's almost like the movie with Denzel Washington, the movie Deja Vu, where it's like this weird time. I'm telling you, because dude, it's fucked up when you have when you're walking through a store and you pick up a can of fucking corn and you look at it, you're like,
yeah,
like, and it's not just like, oh, I've seen it. It's like you almost see,
you've lived it.
You like almost see a little bit into the future.
Yeah,
like
a what if of a possible situation. Like maybe that deja vu are like critical moments in your life where like your life could go different directions or something.
Yeah, it's weird.
Sometimes I'm right on deja vu and sometimes I'm wrong. Like I'll know what's gonna happen and either it does happen or it doesn't happen.
It's really weird. Like this morning when I was doing the chairs, I had deja vu, and it was weird because I had deja vu, and then I saw that I put the chairs in a certain like I saw how I put them together, you know. And even though the instructions, like, they show you how to fucking do it, you know, I get it. Right. But it's like I didn't even look at the instructions.
Right. I don't know how it was when
it was when I opened the box and I took the seats out. I didn't look at the instructions, but I like saw this weird moment where it was like I was putting it together and then I did it a certain way. And the fucked up thing is I did it the same fucking way when I put them together, dude.
Yeah, you can't. I can't explain it. That's why when I don't know something, I don't have a strong like opinion on it. You know what I mean? Like,
oh my God.
If I don't know the answer, if I don't know truth in it, then I don't
I don't think anybody really. I think that there's so much. I think the Earth is so old and so much has happened on it that I think that to know I think it's just crazy.
I'm definitely with the Space Force. I'm gonna tell you that. That's
dude,
for sure. It's a real thing.
I'm all about cool. I'm all about exploring.
He's basically taking. They're doing it in Florida. Florida's the one that's gonna let him do it, and it's gonna be a real thing.
Well, they have Cape Canaveral. I mean, so
whoever it was like. I forget the guy's name, but Trump's basically gonna let him just run this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, here, you know about space. Give us a presence, like everyone else does. All the other countries are up there. Like, I just don't think. I feel like we should probably be involved.
I want to explore it. I think that we can do a lot. I think we can explore a lot,
especially
more.
With drones, like unmanned aircraft.
Dude, it's crazy. It blows my mind that it's like we're in a dude. We're just one galaxy. Like if people really honestly think about it. We're just one tiny galaxy in thousands of galaxies, and there's wormholes and there's fucking black holes. You know what I mean? There's a wormhole where you can literally go and fucking thousands of years in the future. I believe in all that shit. There's no way that it's not true. There's no way that that's not true. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe, and it's hard because one person, I don't remember who told me, but he goes, "What if we're all just dead?" And this is like this is us being dead. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what'd you just say? And he's like, what if we're dead? Like, what if we're already dead, but this is our afterlife?
Yeah, like, cool. Because like when people say heaven and hell, like, I don't take it so literally. I take it like metaphorically, and it's like you live your life, right? And based on how your life went, if you're either a good person or a bad person, but when you die, you're going to be trapped in your memories. You're going to relive those bad things, or you're going to relive those good things.
Oh,
that's, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And that's how you get heaven and hell. Like,
that's
if you live a
interesting.
good life, when you die, you have nothing but good memories. Like grandma, for sure, is in heaven.
Yeah.
It might be her own heaven in her own mind, but she's in a good place.
That's really interesting. I didn't think about it like that, but that's interesting. Like if you die and you're just a terrible fucking person in life and you just got to live in those memories for the rest of your life.
That's hell.
That would be hell.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And I take it as a metaphor.
Because a lot of, some horrible people don't realize how horrible they are. So like when they died, they'd be like, wow, I was a fucking terrible person.
Exactly.
Like I was fucking horrible.
And you can't escape it because you're dead.
You can't yeah, that's pretty. That's pretty good.
You know what I mean?
Like that's a pretty good.
That's my opinion on heaven and hell right there. It's
That's
just
pretty good.
Your own doing.
That's pretty smart. Yeah. I don't know, man. There's way too much shit. When I think about the earth and I think about all this shit, there's too much stuff.
One time I was taking some magic mushrooms, right? And I'm with one of my good buddies, and I'm in like high school. You know, I mean, we're young, but we get into a talk about aliens, and he tells me his belief, and like since then I can't deny it.
If you're on mushrooms, dude.
But he said that he thinks that aliens are no more than just us in different times. They've lost their home. Our bodies have changed. We coming back in time to try to fix our future. And that's why they don't manipulate things as much. You know what I mean? Like that would make sense why they don't just destroy us, because like we are them. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, I could, if you were on fucking mushrooms and
somebody
said this to me.
I was blown. I was like, oh my God, dude, like I believe that.
If I was on mushrooms right now and you just said it to me, I would be like, what
that's what I did. I was like, whoa.
My head would literally fucking blow up. I'd be like, look, I gotta like.
Isn't that great though? Like, how can you say that's not?
That's interesting. Like, we are aliens. We we've
lost ourselves,
and we've obviously like
evolved,
evolved and conformed to our surroundings. That's interesting.
That's why their technology is so advanced. You know what I mean? Their bodies might not be, but that's because they've had to leave Earth. You know what I mean? Earth's gone. In their time.
Interesting, because it's like weird. It almost like, in a way, it's like, wow, it makes sense, because they're out there. They could just kill us.
Yeah, exactly. But they don't.
Like, the thing is,
they
like,
just play with us.
And everybody goes, they're gonna come here for our resources, and I'm like, but they already have so many.
Yeah, they don't.
Like, they already have the resources
what
they
need is. Obviously their species is dying. Like, that's what I think. You know what I mean? It's like us, the human race, we've evolved.
You know what's weird is it's like it almost explains, like, that's weird. That's weird to look at it like that, because if you think about it, it's like there's different species.
Yeah.
Like if you take 3 humans, no 3 humans are alike.
Right.
They're different.
Right. That's creepy. You know what I mean? Like, they could be coming here and doing things to our society, or doing things to our physical selves to change things then.
Well, and you know what's weird? It's like they come here, but they only come here like a couple times a year, and it's because they're like checking on us.
Yeah.
Like, how is everybody doing?
Right, or like it didn't work, or it's, and they say that there's different kinds of aliens. So to me it's different places in the future.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so this alien looks this way because he came here at this timeline, but this alien looks different.
Dude, it's weird. It's weird. Like, if that was like a true thing, like, to really think about it, like, they're just coming here and they're like, wait a minute, the experiment's not working as well as we thought.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. That's fucking weird.
See, well, the thing is they come here and they do something. They don't know if it's done anything until they go back and see what it's done. You know what I mean? Because obviously it's going to have a ripple effect.
And
no
like,
matter what.
That's weird.
That's out the box thinking right there.
That's what's really weird about it is it's not like a super like, people listening might think but it's not that. I mean, it's not that crazy. Like, it's not that crazy. You know,
because you don't know the answer. So,
and if you take 3 or 5 humans, they're never alive. If you think about it, like, if you think about God made Adam and Eve. Wouldn't he have made them similar?
Yeah, I know, right?
Like
they're going to be the same except for X, Y.
Right, right. But like, if you look at humans, like, we're not. Like, if you take 5 people, like 5 men or 5 women, and put them next to each other, there's
entire groups of people that are this tall. You know what I mean? There's just,
they're like small. They're midgets or whatever.
People, like,
yeah, like, you get basketball players that are like 6'9". Like The Rock, dude, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. This dude is a specimen. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm sorry, but
yeah,
like, this dude's
He's
human.
Not the same as me, dude.
Like this dude is human.
No way.
There's no, and everybody goes, well, he worked out. Fuck that. He worked out. Yeah, no, there's certain individuals that are like, they're a different fucking
or like
species.
The people that are like super freaking smart. You know what I mean? Like, the autistic people, they say they're autistic, but yet they're like a genius in some sort of category.
And you're like, wait a minute. Like, there's no fucking way.
That's not fair. This guy can use 20% of his brain, but no humans can.
Like, and that's weird, because like, maybe he's a different type. Like, he's a different, he could be a different type or a different species of alien that
it's us
that just has different.
Yeah, different. That's crazy. Dude,
that's weird.
I can't confirm or deny it, but I will definitely not say it's not true. You know what I mean?
Oh man, if you were on mushrooms, holy
it blew my mind. And like, ever since that day, it's like, that's what I believe aliens are.
You'd be fucking. I would be. I would be literally, I'd have to like leave my house and like go outside and be like, okay.
That same night, I was sitting there on the couch like this, and I looked at my arms, and my arms weren't my arms. Like I couldn't move them, and they looked weird, like they were in the wrong spots. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're like, oh shit, it's happening.
Those aren't my arms.
They're coming back. They're fucking coming back.
But it's a super cool thing, and like it's amazing to think.
I don't know. I just think this is really cool to think about a bunch of different shit. Like I think a lot of people think there's just one way, and that's the way. I don't like that. I'm just like, I'm really out of the box. Like, listen, you can do like when I like with CBD, there's like you like when you produce, CBD, there's like the main way to do it, and I don't do it at all the main way. Like the way I do it is 100% different. When I make my oil, I steep it for about 24 hours. And that's how I extract everything. Most of the time they use a CO2 or butane or whatever to extract the CBD out of it. I don't do that. Like I don't do that. I don't use any harsh chemicals. I literally use, hemp seed oil and MCT oil, and I steep it because it's like so out of the box. Like there's not people doing that.
Yeah, right.
Everybody's just conforming
like,
to
I'm gonna
that.
do it the way I think.
Yeah, like everybody's conforming to the one way to do it, and that's like kind of like the way that is. It's like everybody just conforms it. Like, oh, we're human beings.
They just do what society tells them.
Right,
to
like
do. They're
we
little
were
brainwashed people walking around.
God just used a wand and zapped us, and then boom, 2 humans happened with intestines and a heart and brain
and, they
and
were
all this
smart.
stuff. Right, and they just knew everything. They were already adults. You know what I mean? My biggest thing is, how did one man just go, oh, Adam, oh, Eve, you're both 20 years old and you got intestines and bones. Like, I don't.
And you got to stick that in that.
Like, how did he just do that? Like, there's like this weird magic power. Like, come on. Like, there has to be some weird. That's weird.
And I'm also super big on energies. You know what I mean? Like, I do believe that I'm an electrician for one, so I know about electrons and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, you can feel
positive and negative and like people's energy, or like ghosts. And like to me, like ghosts are just like, say a murder did happen. So when that did happen, a lot of negative energy went out, and energy sticks to the walls. I mean, there's electrons flowing through the walls right now.
No, I don't disagree with
so
it.
You can still feel what type, the amount of energy with positive and
negative. I don't disagree with that, because I'll go to like I've like went somebody's house and I'm like, I don't like it in here.
Yeah,
like I don't like this.
And like when I was younger, my parents would fight all the time, right? And like we're in a house that's just fighting and fighting and fighting, and it's like it's just in the bones of the house.
Yeah, that energy. No, that's real. That's true. Where were we at? I wouldn't say the person's name, but me and Haley, I thought were somewhere, and I was like, I don't like this. I was like, I don't like this house, man. This energy. I was like, I don't know, dude. I don't know if I said energy, but I was like, I don't know about this. I was like, I just feel weird. I think it was, you know what? It might have. So my next door neighbor's house, she's a super sweet woman, but that house is where the state patrol, his wife shot herself, or he shot her.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing something.
Yeah. So she shot. They say that she shot herself in the bedroom, but I don't know. I think there was a domestic. He may have shot her. I don't know what exactly happened.
Right. Epstein shot it. Yeah, he killed himself.
Right, exactly. But it's like when I go in her house, not in the whole house, but when I go, like I've been in that room, and I'm just like, I don't want to fucking be
the
in
energy's
like,
still
yeah, I was like,
there.
I don't want to fucking be in here. And she thinks that there's a ghost in there. And I'm like, oh, dude, that bitch is, she's
like,
there.
I don't necessarily believe in like a ghost that can fly around, but like the energy
right,
stays.
Like, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if I believe necessarily like in I don't know. It's hard because I think that there's things that happen where it's like, man, how did that happen? So a ghost had to have touched it. So maybe, but man, the energy.
But electrons move.
Yeah, like the energy in that room.
You know what I mean? Electrons can bounce from objects to objects.
That's true.
If there's enough of them, and if there's the right, if there's too many positive ones and a bunch of negative ones hit, or if there's already positive ones and positive ones, you know what I mean? Like energy can pull. It can push.
It's weird. It's just creepy. It's like when you watch a movie. It's the same thing. If you watch a movie, and that movie just like resonates with you, your hair stands up.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like, that's
happened to me like 4 times during this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's weird. Like we were just talking about my arm. I was like, this is weird, man. No, I get that. Like when I go to her house, not the whole house, but like near that room, I'm like, I don't know, the energy. I don't dig it. But there's certain places where it is like that. I believe in that shit. I believe that it's like, you can go to a place and it's just bad energy. Like you just know bad shit is either happening in the house currently or has happened, and you're like, dude, something bad fucked up happened in this place.
You stay in that place, you're getting those electrons and all that energy.
Yeah,
I mean, it's coming around, it's going into you, and it's messing with you.
Yeah, like I'll be like when you guys lived on Avalon, I hated that place.
I didn't like it either. It was like constantly like it's just so much like hate and anger, and like I could just feel negative energy all the time.
I just that basement.
Yeah.
Every time I remember I'd stay the night out there sometimes, and I'd always tell your little brother, I was always like, dude.
Well, they'd tell stories to us about like great grandma doing like
I was like, I don't like this
casting
fucking
spells
basement,
and like
man.
bringing people from the, spirits and stuff, and like doing all that, and then like grandma used to not be so nice. Like she used to beat the shit out of the kids when she was younger.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
No, dude, I was like, I don't know. And then like I remember she'd send us out into the fields, dig in the sand lots to find the treasure or whatever the hell everybody was looking for when they went out there on Hyder's land.
Buried all kinds of money.
Yeah,
in sand.
something. And I remember, man, we'd be out there and then they'd be like, Hyder's coming, and you get this energy and you're like, oh shit, I gotta fucking go. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Like, immediately, like
and
dude. He'd come too.
In that tractor, there'd be dude, fuck that. Like, no, I believe in that shit. I believe in that shit. I don't know. Some people, I'm out there. I'm pretty far out
Me too.
there.
It's just like I like to.
I'm a pretty far out there guy.
I'm open. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm open. I'm open to most stuff. Some people like talk about past lives and stuff. I don't know so much about that, but I'm definitely. I'm definitely there to be like, okay, like I'll listen. Like if you somebody's like has a weird spiritual journey or some weird thing, like I'll listen and be like, okay. And then like what we were talking about, you're talking about the alien thing. It's like, I don't know, man. That's not that. I mean, it's not too far fetched. I don't know.
You can picture it. You can see it.
Yeah. You're like that. I mean, and then you start thinking like, dude, am I a fucking alien?
Right.
Like what the fuck, dude?
Well, it's like we are. I just think that's why they don't mess with us.
And then it's like, well, what the fuck do aliens eat? Because I've been eating fucking meat, dude. Maybe I'm not supposed to. What the fuck? I don't know. Like if I was fucked up, dude, that'd be real fucking trippy.
Dude, I spent so much time just literally in books and learning and stuff that like we could do this again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Type stuff. Like there's still so much There's so many things still that I.
What time is it?
Oh, it's 7:30.
Oh, shit.
Time for my Cowboy game.
Yeah. We can stop it. You can. We can definitely do it again for sure. Because I'll.
Like I didn't even tell you about like the whole energy police thing.
I know.
Like there's a bunch of things.
Well, we can do it again in like a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's fine. That's good.
Like 2 weeks or something. I can. Yeah,
that'd
for sure.
Cool. Sure. I'm definitely in.
Well, I think we'll wrap it up. I'll let you go watch the. I'll probably turn on and watch a little bit of it.
Go Cowboys, right? Tonight?
Yeah, I just hate the fucking Bears, dude. Even though I'm not, even if they win, it's not going to hurt us in our division.
No, but if they keep winning, they could go to the playoffs.
But I just don't like them. There's a thing about the Bears, and it's just I fucking don't like them.
I can't explain it.
It's like the Vikings, the Lions, but the fucking Bears, it's like I just don't just erase that fucking team.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's been fun, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on here. It's pretty cool.
Definitely. All right, well, that's it, man.
Yeah, Schroeder.
Take it easy.
Yes.
That was good. That's good.